everybody, to another episode of Uneducated MMA. I'm your host with the most, Wanderbread.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I'm joined here with my co-host, the heavyweight champion of the world, REG.
The belt's on the line today.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And of course, this Justin.
Yeah. Made it.
And guys, today we are joined. Listen, I requested this one personally because I was fortunate enough to be a guest on 806 The Show and got to interview this man myself. But of course, we are joined today for the third time.
Hell yeah.
We have Matt, the Mantis Doherty.
Let's go,
you.
bro. Let's go.
Always a pleasure being here.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course,
thanks for
man.
coming, man.
Definitely.
Shout out to Melvin. He asked me the other day. He was like, "Listen, man, you guys are starting to get some steam. You guys are starting to pick up, and I want to get you guys on." So he was like, "Hey, listen, do you want me to get Matt on here?" And I was like, 110%. I had like probably one of my best episodes. I feel like getting to be on their podcast to interview you, and now that we finally picked up some steam. And if you guys haven't noticed, there's a little change to things. We didn't set the cards out today because I wanted to do things a little differently because I wanted to shine the light on.
Got the backdrop.
Our own official sign.
Let's
And
go.
I'm super excited, man. Yeah, man, it's good to have you on, man. I feel like I've been watching you on Instagram for the last couple of weeks. I followed you a while back, and I've been seeing the hype build up. If you guys don't know, we have him on here today because he has a fight coming up. That's right. The last chapter was not the last chapter. That
right,
hunger
that's right.
Wasn't
still
finished.
burns inside. So I wanted to have you back on here, man, because
Stay hungry.
I love the journey when it comes to fighters, man. Like I've said this a bunch of times. I don't know if you've heard this, but like for me, I started falling in love with fighting back in like 2019, 2018, watching it, haven't yet to get in there myself, but I definitely love watching the entire journey, I feel like, of a fighter, the hunger that you guys have when it comes to the sport, the love that you have for the sport, that never quit, that never say die attitude, and
dedication.
to see the dedication you have. 4:30 in the morning. Like we were just talking about before the mics got hot. 4:30, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Getting after it. Like
Yeah,
that's
Process is
dedication.
different. So, like when I watch I've been watching Ultimate Fighter lately, and that process, where you see someone have to lose 20 pounds in a day. And they get locked in a sauna, and they know they're fighting to get out.
Oh man,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
like,
painful, but it's rewarding.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very
I
much
bet.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's been a lot that has changed since the last time you were on here. We're gonna get into some of the stuff, but we're gonna start off with some of the fight news. We're gonna get into your fight in a moment, but we were actually just watching the episode that you were on here recently, and it was so funny to me because one of the things that happened at the beginning of the episode was Francis Ngannou getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua.
right.
Yeah.
And
Those are the last
right.
episodes.
with the
Yeah.
timing of this episode, Francis is finally going to start
Yeah.
fighting again. So
Jeez.
that's going to be interesting to see.
Right.
I feel like I don't know how he's going to do coming back after that like KO loss.
Yes.
It's a lot of cobwebs.
Some people come back stronger. Most come back.
Yeah,
different.
right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times you
Yeah.
see like great fighters too, like come back with a different mentality in a way.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they don't
different.
have
I
the.
think it's different too when you get to that level and you're like he's already known, he's already big, he's gone in the boxing world for that check. How much does it mean to him at this point to grind as hard as he once was?
Right.
He's a fighter, inside and out, but obviously, somebody fighting for something, even if they get knocked out, they get back up and come back harder.
Yeah.
Is he gonna do that, or is he just fighting for another check and, kind of just trying to see where it goes?
I feel like he could redeem himself.
Yeah.
Definitely can redeem himself.
I feel like
He's
he
got
did
the
good
skills.
against Fury, but Anthony Joshua got him, bro. But against Fury, I don't know. I think he looked really good in that fight.
I don't know. And Anthony Joshua just got knocked out, right?
He did.
He did, yeah.
Well, that's the math when it comes to fighting. A plus B does not equal C all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's the way things go, man.
Somebody always has your number.
Every single time,
Yeah,
man.
not always. I mean, there is people that don't, or it hasn't been shown. But
Yeah.
for
Some
the
people
most
just
part, there's
dominate.
just like styles make fights, and
Yeah.
some people have it for different opponents and make it work.
Yeah. And then that's
Yeah.
how you learn at the end of the day.
That's
Like,
it.
oh, I guess I should have ducked.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to have a similar experience that Connor did, Will, when you go into that heavy training for boxing to then go back to MMA. If it's going to be a little weird, his style's going to be a little different. I mean, he was always hands heavy.
Yeah,
I feel like
always a big puncher.
I don't think I
Yeah,
can
footwork
recall
is gonna be
Francis throwing a
different.
high kick.
Footwork different, yeah.
No, he's not going to be doing no
Footwork's
kicks.
gonna feel weird.
His legs are done.
I couldn't imagine like switching footwork from like sport to sport sometimes.
Yeah, because like you said, this is the third time you've been on this podcast. Like, so for you, you've done bare knuckle, you've done boxing, and you've done MMA. But what was the
That's incredible.
what was the
And
what,
Muay Thai.
and Muay Thai, and Muay Thai.
I
Let's
got
not forget the
one
Muay
pro
Thai.
Muay Thai fight,
What was
yeah.
the
Much
what was
respect,
It's all
bro.
different styles.
for sure? What was
Yeah.
the transition though? Like, did you do like boxing first, and then you started dabbling into MMA?
So,
Like, how did you go to
a
that?
lot of people ask that, and I've always given the answer like I started in MMA and then I got into boxing. But the real answer is I guess I've done both about around the same time. So like when I started training MMA, I think it was like 2009 or 10. I competed in the Golden Gloves in 2012, and I worked with Bill Murphy for that.
Okay.
So we were out in Lowell training. So I guess I did both. Like I never really just sunk into MMA, but I put a lot of my focus in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing boxing for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up winning the Greater Lowell New England Golden Gloves, and which was cool, as an MMA fighter. Like I had my Muay Thai shorts. My boxing coach Bill Murphy still makes fun of me for that. Everybody's
There's some
Muay
colorful
Thai.
shorts.
Yeah,
the
Muay Thai
Muay Thai
shorts are
guy.
usually pretty colorful. Usually,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
short. You
Yeah,
can tell
like-
they're a Muay Thai style.
Yeah.
So
you
I
gotta have room for the knees. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you come
exactly.
out
How
of
it
it.
is.
So I went in there and won though, and he always laughed me for that. But to the answer to your question is, I've pretty much been doing both. So.
Okay, so I feel like for you, did you feel like it was a little easier to kind of like transition back and forth between the two?
Yeah. And I was always more of a stand-up guy. I'm a
That make-
stand-up guy.
Hey,
That's right,
all
that's
the way
right.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, but really, like, my style has been a lot of stand-up anyway. So
Right.
like, always throwing the hands or trying to stay standing up.
Yeah.
Transition well into boxing. So.
I feel like that helps out a lot because you
Yeah.
see, like a lot of fighters, they'll have like different styles, and they definitely favor some. Obviously, because of the background, like the
Sure.
guys, the wrestlers, the Daniel Cormiers and whatnot, they have their
Yep.
background in that, so they stick to their strengths. But it's always interesting to see that been very few fighters I feel like that'll dip into another sport, like they'll go from MMA to boxing or vice versa,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can kind of see the holes a little bit. But I feel like with you, it's a little different, where you trained kind of in both the whole time, but
Yeah,
more
yeah,
focused on
exactly.
MMA.
Yep.
You knew your bases you needed to cover a little bit
Exactly.
better. You didn't find that like weak spot that much.
That's what it is.
Yeah, definitely it's interesting because you see a lot of these guys. I mean, every now and then you get somebody like Alex Pereira that comes in from like kickboxing and he just dominates because
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
has the answer for it. As much as people say the weakness has to be wrestling because they're like, oh, if you only kickbox, then you
Yeah,
have to have
right,
that
right.
weakness.
Right.
So far, I haven't
What
seen
has
it.
happened? Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't
yeah.
happened yet. So I guess
he
if
has
you're
that special power, man.
Yeah.
the left hook, man,
It does. Sometimes it doesn't even look as hard as it lands.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's the
Like,
thing that
Yeah,
everyone
we
says,
talked about
man.
it last time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
like
single
from close
time.
range.
It's like a
like,
mat-
just
just
so
a-
perfect, like
a ghost
perfect
punch.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
For the crowd in the audience watching, this episode is going to come out the week after UFC 307, but we're still going to talk about it because that fight is going to be very exciting. Alex
Yeah.
Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. We already put out an episode on it, but I would love to get your opinion on that fight. What are we thinking?
Going Alex round 2.
Alex
Oh,
round 2.
yeah.
This-
Knockout.
you sound confident. We didn't even. I don't
Yeah,
even
I
think
like
we
that.
picked rounds. I said I couldn't pick one because I'm such a fan of both fighters. It's one of those things that like you got your favorites, and Khalil Roundtree is one of my favorites, but so is Alex. So I
Yeah,
couldn't.
yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
hard to
pick it.
judge.
But
I picked
you wouldn't
Pereira.
be wrong either.
I just feel like because I've doubted him a few times, to be honest. For some reason,
You were
I've
on the
watched
Izzy
him and I'm like,
bandwagon?
"Alright, he's kind of robotic and
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
off
I can
a
see
little
that.
robotic
Yeah,
to me.
like a fucking stone
But then
guy.
it just
Yeah.
and then it just kind of works, and I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay.
I guess
I don't know
whatever
how he's
floats your
doing it.
boat.
Yeah,
right?
the
Yeah,
new
so
update.
I think I have to put all the bets on him. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I always like the puncher's chance. I always like the underdog. I feel like it's a
Me too.
feel good
But-
story, you know.
The only
Yeah,
thing
for
is,
sure.
like, fighters don't like defend that belt as much as they used to. Like, I feel like a
But
lot
he's
of.
already talking about going down to 185.
Oh yeah, true.
His
true.
mind is already. He had already before this fight. I think it was either right after this fight got booked or maybe a little bit before then. He was already talking about like, all right, I'm gonna move back down to 185 and fight Dricus du Plessis for that title.
That'd be a fight
He,
too.
I saw today that he put out a statement that Alex did, where he was saying he's like, it wasn't that I couldn't make the 185. It's just that I needed to give my body a break from weight cutting, which I want to talk to you about because
Yeah.
obviously you're in the
Yeah.
middle of a weight cut as well. He said that he wanted to give his body a bit of a break from that, so that way he fought at 205, got that belt, and as much as people, including myself, are wanting him to move up in weight and go fight heavyweight,
Yeah, yeah.
he's looking the other
Big guy,
direction,
yeah.
which I don't know, man. I feel like I would feel if you're someone who's
He
6'4".
knows he can dominate the fight. If he goes down, I think.
It's a bigger
Exactly.
fight
Unless
if he
it
moves
weakens
up.
him, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is we've seen him now get knocked out at 185. It hasn't happened at 205.
Right.
Who knows on UFC 307 if he gets KO'd, but we'll see. I just think that it makes more sense if you're, I don't know, if you walk around at a natural weight for you to kind of fight around that weight. And with his size, it's 6'4" and walks around probably 220, 230. Why wouldn't you move up to heavyweight that starts at 225?
Yeah, big boy, I know.
Would you say that makes more sense to go up versus go down?
Maybe. I have two. I kind of share the same thought as you, but at the same time, it's like the whole game is cutting weight.
Yeah.
So you're sticking around close to that weight, and then somebody's cutting weight.
Yeah.
So then they go in 15 pounds heavier than you. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong because it's also 225 to 265. That's a big
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah.
That's a very big
Wild
gap.
Big
gap,
gap,
yeah.
Yeah, once you get heavy, you just get heavy.
Yeah, at least at 205, you know everybody's
Yeah.
around
At least I'm
205.
thinking, my weight classes are staying in the same area here.
No, for sure. But even
Yeah.
with him, I think it was his last fight when he fought Yuri, right? Yeah, I think that was Alex's last fight. He weighed in at 205, maybe 206. We'll give him that extra pound. Next day is 225. So that he gains it right back.
Yeah, of course.
So he can I guess
All the
rehydrate
water
pretty
weight,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
How much can you
does.
lose like in water weight? Like how much like weight like quick? Like 10,
Everybody's different, and I think I don't know if age is appropriate thing to say, but the
Yeah.
older I get, the
Tougher
less
it
I
is?
want to cut weight.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
you.
Everything
Yeah.
I've heard, like growing up, and every time it comes to like health and exercise and this and the third, it's like the older you get, the harder these things
Yeah,
become. I guess if
yeah.
you get into the routine of it, maybe you just kind of get mentally used to it, but your body's still your body.
Yeah,
you know.
When you're younger,
I'm pretty good at cutting weight too. And I've except for the last fight, I put like a weight limit on what I'm gonna fight at.
Yeah.
Like an ideal weight I like to fight at is between like 138 to like 144.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, I kind of feel kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
Anything lighter than that, I start feeling weak.
Yeah, because after a while, I feel you just get tired.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want me to get into the last
100
fight's weight cut,
Yeah,
but
Go ahead.
So yeah, as you guys know, I fought back in March. I fought for
Yeah.
the New England title. Kevin, shout out.
Yeah, Kevin Walsh, right? Yeah.
Kevin Walsh, yeah. We chat and stuff. It's all
Yeah.
we're buddies and whatnot.
One thing I love
Through the
about
fight
fighting
game.
is like a lot of times people just like they'll go to war and then afterwards be like, "Yo, that was great. That was
It
great."
is
You
what
guys
it
are
is.
hugging it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You're like,
It's
"Yo,
part-
what do you mean?
it's
You were just
part
trying
of
to
the sport.
you were trying to kill
Yeah.
each other 5 minutes ago."
It's
You guys are like,
part
"Yo,
of
that
the
was
sport.
great. That was
But,
great."
I came off 2.5 years of just not resting. I always worked out, but I came off the 2.5 years, and I came into a big fight. I couldn't turn
Yeah.
it down. New England title,
Oh, I
and
wouldn't
I don't. I try not to fight, people that are less than prospects,
either.
up and comers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But so I dove into it, and I went to 135, and that's like I didn't want to go back down to 135 unless it was for something, and it was for the New England title.
I would say it's worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. But given the fact, what happened in the fight, like I could feel just throughout the end of my camp and stuff that I didn't go through it mentally like it was a wrong move, because to me it was always the right move up until now.
Yep.
I'm not disappointed by it. I don't have any regrets, but usually I'm the bull. Like when I'm sparring or when I'm fighting, I'm always trying to come forward.
Yeah.
I'll box with you too, but I like to come forward, and I feel that cutting down so much, because I think I cut about almost 20 pounds, within like 4 weeks, because my fight camp realistically was like 4.5 weeks. It was a short fight camp for such a big fight coming off 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And cutting so much weight, I was taking salt baths like every other night just to start getting the weight down for a while. And I think it drained me so much that even in sparring, guys that I push around, all of a sudden I was like feeling weak inside, getting pushed back.
Yeah.
And that really frustrated me too. Like I was like, okay, I don't feel as strong as I usually do.
Yeah, you don't.
And I didn't let that out to anybody. I'm
Yeah.
sure it could be seen by the coaches and stuff. But so like the weight cut, I think the older I get,
I can imagine it's probably hard to balance all that.
Yeah, exactly. And coming off so long, 2.5 years, I haven't made a weight cut in 2.5 years, and then I'm cutting 20 pounds in 4.5, 5 weeks. Just you know what I mean?
Short amount of time.
Yeah. My
It's
body's
tough.
not used to it.
I've always I like seeing that stuff when I watch like the UFC embedded, which is pretty much like the leading up to the pay-per-views. They always do like the interviews with all the fighters and such. It's interesting to see when fighters decide to start cutting weight. It seems like about the same time, like about a month or so
Yeah, you
out.
want to go, slowly start diminishing your weight, and then I'll feel comfortable cutting about 6 to 7, maybe 8 pounds, like the day of, like the morning of.
That's intense, man.
Yeah.
You're in the
Yeah,
tinfoil wrap suit, sweating. The coach is
Yeah,
all
I like
around
to
you.
do the baths, Epsom salt bath.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
put hot water in there, Epsom salt. You lay the towels on top of the water, trap the heat,
Mhm.
and you go in there.
I've seen a
so.
few methods. Some of them don't seem very healthy, but that one
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
Yeah, some of them work. I've been in
Yeah.
cars with jackets, sauna suits, blasting the heat in the summer.
Yep.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
I've been
Oh, you
trying
gotta
to
get
cut
the weight
weight
off,
for a couple
man. You
months,
gotta
make
bro.
that.
But you can do it in a couple days.
What's
Yeah.
like the purpose for cutting weight? Like what? Why do they have to do it?
It's
Like
the weight
why
class
don't-
about.
It's
I know, but like
it's literally that.
Okay,
why don't people just stay all at their? They stay in shape, but they stay at one weight.
There's an
Or-
argument for that
Like,
being
for this-
the
'cause
new
there's
case.
football players that do. There's basketball players that stay at their 205, 215. They'll stay around there.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the purpose at this moment would be, because there's no way to stop like have two people walk on their weight.
Yeah.
So like, say like I go in a fight, I'm walking about 140, and I go in a fighting at 139, 140. Now a guy walks around 155 and he's
Yeah.
cutting to 140,
Yeah.
right? So we both weigh in at 140. But now naturally I can only gain a few pounds because I walk around at that. Otherwise I'll be
Comfortably
sloppy.
already, yeah.
okay.
And he's just putting his water weight back on, and he's
Then he'll just
feeling
bulk
great.
right
He's
up.
way heavier. You
Oh,
know?
I see.
A
I
lot
see.
heavier.
Every pound makes a
Gotcha.
difference,
And you're
bro.
fighting a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
like basketball, you don't really need to like weigh yourself. You just need to make
Stay
the
in
ball.
shape.
I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like
stay in
it's
shape
you
for
still
sure.
you still
Endurance.
run into the thing with the weight bully though, because like you name the weight class. There's always going to be those outliers. Again, I have to stick to MMA because I don't watch boxing that often. I need to get more into it. But you always get those guys like we were just talking about Alex. He'll weigh in at a 185, and again he's like 6'4" and some change, and he'll next day be
Yeah.
at 200, 205, 210 because he just regained all that water weight like you were just talking about. And then there are guys who they weigh in at 185 and they get back to 192. That's not fair. Like that's a weight bully right there,
Yeah,
in
it's a
my
weight
opinion.
bully.
And now he's fighting at 205, and people, like I said, talking about him going up to 225 to go fight, or even heavier than that. I don't know, man. Like, it's still,
kinda
I still
like-
don't think it's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
you know?
that's, why,
Yeah.
that's why he's not moving up. I guess it makes
But
sense.
he's
you know?
6'4". Like I couldn't
Insane.
imagine. Like
Well, to be fair, so is Izzy, but Izzy has a smaller frame. Like even when Izzy went up to light heavyweight to go fight Jan Blachowicz, like he didn't gain that much weight. He said like how you were saying, like he needs to feel his body. He needs to
Yeah.
feel comfortable and natural. So he got up to like I think like 205, just about, maybe like 204, 205, but that was about it. But Jan Blachowicz weighed in at 205 and then got back up to
Yeah,
like 220
yeah. I mean,
because he's a
boy.
bigger guy
Yeah.
than frame wise than
Yeah,
Izzy.
naturally, yeah.
So then you still have that thing. It's like, yeah, okay, that one day you weighed in the same, but then afterwards you're going back. UFC 307, Kayla Harrison, I think she did a judo Olympics. She was at like 170,
She was
and then she
heavy,
dropped.
a lot bigger.
She just had to cut all the way down to 135. I don't know if she walks around at 170 now, but the fact that
she had a
she,
huge
yeah.
cut though.
That's
Yeah.
like, you
huge,
see her on the
yeah.
I
scale,
didn't
even
know
though
she
she's
was
still
gonna
like
make
this.
weight.
You
That's
see
crazy.
her
Yeah.
cheeks, like, and everything. She looks like a skeleton because of how much.
I didn't recognize it really.
No, because
Like,
it's the amount of weight that you even like Max Holloway, who's already like a skinnier guy. Even when he cuts the weight, he looks like a zombie on
Yeah,
the
you
scale.
can see it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Definitely feel it.
So like
bet, yeah.
rehydrating, do you just get like a cup of water right afterwards? Like I don't even know how. That's a part I don't really know. Like
Everybody's different.
there's
but,
a healthy way apparently. I don't know
Yeah,
what that is.
some
Big
people
Mac,
go
right?
get IVs.
Yep.
Heard about that.
Really, what I do, I'll grab like a Pedialyte. I'll grab a Gatorade just to have. I don't always drink it all, but Pedialyte, Gatorade, gallon of water. Put some salt in the gallon of water because it absorbs the water.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Because I feel
Eat
like
fruits.
a lot of workouts afterwards, like especially when I was doing like I guess more cardio intensive training, I'm dying at the end. I'm like looking for a gallon of water,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
Oh,
can
yeah.
feel it. Like you drink too much, you're gonna throw up. Like you get that feeling too. I feel like
Yeah.
it's weird to like be that thirsty, but like slowly have to reintroduce liquids into your
Yep.
body too.
No, it is. It is. And I've gone through back in the MMA days where I've made the weight cuts and then I would eat and I would be sick for a couple hours because it was too fast, putting things in my body too fast, and
I wouldn't even.
I would
imagine.
throw up. I threw up. You know, my stomach felt like there was a big pit in it. That happened a few times.
I feel like I couldn't eat. I feel like I'd have to wait a while before I ate.
Yeah.
More so,
slow.
very slow.
Yeah.
Grapes here and there and like
Oh,
fruits.
yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Like you said, fruit. I
Fruit.
feel like watermelon and
I'll
stuff like
always have
that,
fruit with me. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Blackberries, berries. Yeah.
rather than eating like a burger. You know.
Yeah.
This is right from the
Some
Yeah.
people dive because some weigh-ins they have like tables with like a bunch of food, pasta, this, that, which you can start eating after, slowly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some people have mounds of food and then they'll have a cookie because they have cookies at the end.
Yeah.
Which is good for the sugar, put sugar
Yeah.
back in your body and all that. But
Yeah, we were talking about that last time, like how Patty, like how he like
makes no sense to me.
Yeah, he
oh
eats.
yeah, Pat, yeah.
Crazy
he
amount
looks
right
like he
after.
looks like 250 and he fights at 155. It
That
makes
looks
no
like he's
sense.
Shredded, yeah.
Or even
Abs and
after some
everything.
fights,
Yeah.
you hear fighters like, "Yo, I'm about to eat some pizza after this."
But it makes sense after the fight.
After the fight, for sure.
After weigh-in, I
Yeah.
feel like that's a
Nah,
different
weigh-in,
thing.
no.
After the fight, I totally get being like, I want a whole pizza to myself right now.
Hasn't he stepped on the scale with pizza before? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, I
think so,
right,
yeah.
I mean, I think they do the ceremonial weigh-ins. That's why. So he's already trying to
cool.
gain the weight
He's already
back.
weighed in, yeah.
But that's a
But
different.
it's funny seeing even before the fight, he's eating a pizza. He's
Yeah.
Wait, who was drinking a beer? I remember somebody was drinking a beer. Or was that Ryan Garcia? Someone was drinking.
I feel
I
like
think it's Ryan Garcia. I think it might have
At a
been
weigh-in,
Ryan.
someone was
might have
drinking a
been.
beer.
Oh, was that Ryan? It
I think
sounds
so.
Like it was,
Something like
Good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
perfect pivot right there. Another topic we talked about last time you were on the thing is the whole Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. We were all picking at that time. We were making our picks as to who was going to win. Ryan Garcia
You
won.
called it, though.
You did.
Yeah,
You did.
right?
You did. Ryan Garcia was faking everybody out.
He's like, he ain't as
right.
crazy as he. Nah, he's definitely cooked, yeah.
Definitely.
definitely.
But he
he
got it done, I
He got
guess.
it.
I like Ryan.
Yeah, me
He's
too.
he's
yeah.
definitely like an interesting dude. I just feel like he played the game of social media, but like it's one of those things where like you got a little too like brandish. You did a little too
big
much.
time.
You
Oh,
said a
yeah.
couple of things that were like, eh.
Whoa, like,
But
Oh,
now-
he went off his rails.
He went off
Yeah.
the rails for
Yeah.
sure.
That's what you're saying.
But then now Devin Haney is suing him and Golden
I
Boy
heard,
for that
yeah.
whole thing because they're like
Yep.
it's saying that they knew he was taking like PEDs. I forgot
Yep.
what Osterine or something like that he got caught up with. They said that he knew he had PEDs in his system. That the weight bullying thing was a thing that they knew he was gonna come in heavier for the weight cut. They let it happen anyway. He went like overweight.
right.
He's like saying that
Lot of-
basically it's a conspiracy against
Yeah.
me is what Devin Haney is saying.
Yeah.
I get it if all that is true, but Haney was not looking his best at that time. Other fights, Haney's done a lot better.
I
Other
know,
fights.
right? He didn't
No,
look
Ryan
like
looked crisp.
this.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, he
After that
did. He
episode, I was
looked
doing my
good, yeah.
research, and I was like, Ryan seems like a crazy person. That's very skilled, but right now he seems like he's off his A game. But that was definitely just a ploy.
Yeah,
that was
oh,
just
big
all
time.
games,
Big time,
all
big
mind
time.
games.
But
'Cause
that's
he went in
just like
there
some, like,
sharp.
Sharpshooter, yeah.
Super
Yeah.
rolling
Sharp,
to the
yeah.
fullest. Like,
He had to
Oh,
do
for
something after Tank, though.
Oh, for sure.
He was confident too, like he knew at the
Yeah.
beginning. He knew. He
No.
just knew.
catch him with
I'm gonna catch you with to say it.
I think it's kind of silly he's suing him.
I think so, too.
It's funny. I don't know. It's.
And then they kick him out of boxing, which is.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
like, you think he comes back?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Once this
Yeah.
whole thing
Yeah,
gets
I
dropped,
do,
yeah.
At some point, I feel
Yeah.
like.
He sells tickets. So he's going to come back.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
look,
a face. He's a.
Yeah.
Now that the what is it? What's his name? Turkey Al Sheikh in Saudi Arabia and all them are putting on all these
Yeah,
crazy
big-
fights. There's
yeah.
no way
Yeah.
they wouldn't have him fight.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
I get like a whatever organization over here that was like affiliated with him maybe doesn't want to sign him back on, but I would say somebody else is going to
yeah,
pick him up, like
exactly.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Like you said, he's a face. Like
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, he's-
Everybody knows that name.
Social media, I mean,
Especially
the
after the
fight
antics,
game,
good or bad.
MMA and boxing both.
Yeah,
know him
I mean
big
you have
time.
both of them calling him out. People
That's
in
what
MMA
I
and
mean,
boxing.
Yeah, so
I would say you get him back on. I don't.
Me
I think he
too.
sticks to boxing. I don't think he steps in that MMA cage as much as Sean O'Malley was calling him
no,
out.
I don't think so.
No, that's another thing is the amount of boxers that are like getting chirped at to come into
I
MMA, but
know,
you see the
stop.
MMA guys
All the
going
time.
either way.
Somebody else just did too.
Terrence Crawford with
Yeah.
Conor McGregor,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was just
he's
like,
The Alpha was wild.
I mean, I get it. Look, like again, you did both. Like you have to get it. Like you study one thing, boxing. You don't want to get kicked like at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
An elbow,
exactly.
you've
Yeah.
never seen that unless it's a cheap shot, and even then, it's illegal to do.
Yeah.
In MMA, that's more than welcome. Go
Yeah,
right
yeah,
ahead.
Anything goes.
So
Yeah.
you're on the ground. you're doing wrestling on the ground. You're getting elbows to the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit. I've
Even
never-
if they just did stand up, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
right.
knows all the kicks, the elbows, knees. and-
Leg
Yeah.
You've seen a spinning
He's-
back
he's
fist
not gonna be-
before.
yeah,
That,
really,
that's
yeah,
scary. You don't
yeah.
know how do you prepare for that?
Yeah.
I think that the difference between diving in another sport is like, I think like the MMA guys,
Yeah.
as I know, like could fade because boxers have this crisp way of footwork. The punches are all different. So if they take a loss, it's gonna be more fading out from all that, rather than like getting punched and getting hurt. Not saying it can't happen because a nice punch could do it, but MMA fighters are tough. Like they could take a punch. You know what I mean? So, and they do have some stand up. Even I don't know about the worst because who dove into the boxing match that looked horrible versus Jake Paul?
Ben Askren.
That's different.
Ben Askren,
Yeah.
So
What's going on?
We don't claim Ben Askren. Listen,
completely different. But nowadays most MMA guys have good stand up. A lot of them are working mostly boxing, unless they're like a stud wrestler. Then they work some hands, but. For the most part, they could get in a boxing ring and hang on for a little bit, throwing back, blocking, getting punched, and taking it, rather than a boxing guy, unless he gets a really nice hit from the start, just getting his legs kicked or a head kick or something. It's
the calf kick alone is going to take him out.
It'll take you a while to be able to react. Just to know because you don't think when you're boxing, you don't think to block a leg kick.
Boxing up top, right?
Yeah,
and then they got someone fakes a leg kick or something. They're gonna put their hands down to block it, or get their leg eaten up.
Low, hit him with the high. You know what I mean?
They're gonna go to put their hands down. It's that you train different.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, a boxer, an elite boxer would beat an elite MMA fighter in the ring.
Yep.
And I think elite boxer that goes with an elite MMA guy will get destroyed in the cage.
It's just too many tools.
It's like what they're used to.
I think the leg kicks is a thing. Wrestling is definitely going to be a thing. Just learning how to take down defense is going to be a big thing. Conditioning,
clinch too, like clinch striking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it's a different. It's just different because like I said, too many tools that you have to worry about now. Before you just had to worry about someone's hands. Now you have to worry about if you get into any sort of mix up, you can get caught pretty bad.
Yep.
This past weekend we saw Matt Frivola getting slept with a knee in the clinch.
My goodness.
When are you going to see anything remotely like that in boxing? Maybe a clinch with an uppercut, like a dirty boxing type situation. But even then, rarely I feel like I see guys getting put to sleep with that. They get hit with big shots, but put to bed, I don't know.
He was put to sleep while standing up.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You saw his lights go out immediately when that thing hit his chin. I feel like it's going to be so satisfying. A knee knockout has to feel the best.
I'm sure it does.
It's just
damn, I really caught him with this one.
Yeah, the hands is normal. That's you feel good.
I always throw these, but I never catch them.
Yeah, I never catch them.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? Because didn't you have your first fight? Wasn't a debut knockout?
It was a TKO.
And TKO and MMA?
Knockout, but a TKO, yeah.
How was that feeling?
That felt great. Yeah, especially because that was Terrence Swanson. He was a black belt in BJJ.
Okay.
And I think talked about it last time too. When he kept taking me down, but then I would get on top.
Yeah. And
I was ground and pound, and I could hear my manager and coach just get up, get up, get up, get up, constantly, and I didn't listen.
Yeah.
One bit.
It worked out. It worked out.
I could feel him fading.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole first round was just submission attempts over and over, and he
knew the game
wrapped
plan.
some tight stuff around my neck. But I just I didn't follow game plan, but I knew I had him fading with the hammer fist, the elbows.
Yep.
I could just see it, him fading out. And then his guard just opened up, and he kind of just faded back, and that's when they stepped in. Yeah.
I think the ground and pound has become a lost art in MMA. Again, I said last weekend, Renato Moicano with BSD, he hit him with a few too many elbows, and you can see BSD's energy drained immediately. His face got all cut up. He was just not ready for that.
It's a game changer.
For sure.
Throw him.
And that was round one.
Yep.
They came out hot, and immediately he got taken down. It was just bang, bang.
It's becoming
done.
a lost art, though. You're right.
Yeah.
A lot of it's positioning.
And then you see submission attempts a lot more.
Course,
I think people want to get the choke and stuff like that, go for an arm, but it's rare that you see somebody get vicious ground and pound TKO anymore.
Punch,
That was a good era, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was I feel like the beginning of the UFC. You saw a lot of that. A lot of these wrestlers came in and they were just dominating people with the ground and pound. And now it's kind of
where you at?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, people now they're starting a lot with the stand up. I think they're falling in love with the striking a lot more because it's. I mean, to be fair, it's a much better highlight. A cool overhand right, a high kick like you like to throw.
Yeah.
Stuff like that looks way better on your reel.
Yeah, right.
Superman punch.
We have to show you after.
Stuff like
with
that.
the Timbs on.
I feel like I feel like that just looks
studio.
better on the highlight reel, you know? Especially like we play UFC all the time. We play UFC 5 every single time. Tell me right now, you're going to pick a wrestler over a kickboxer or something like that? Never.
Dude,
Never.
I've played people online that just wrestle, and I'm like,
It's over. It's over.
yeah. I'm like, really?
There's a reason they have a stand and bang mode for a reason, because it's like
exactly.
nobody like wrestling is like, I get it. It's a smart move if you're good at it and you know how to
Such
conserve
a
your energy.
pain.
Is it
Sure.
cool in a video game though?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's not cool in
Exactly.
real life either, because then we had the Noche UFC a little bit ago, and we had Marab basically like hug Sean O'Malley for 5 rounds.
Yeah,
and that wasn't that exciting either.
It's cool if you're in it, and that's the art, and you're doing good. You're the one.
I
have
was
a-
like,
I have
wow,
an
I'm killing it right now.
I have an appreciation for it, but the degenerate in me wants to see somebody get slept. You know,
That's why. Yeah, like you said, everybody boos, and they stand you up for a while. After a while of just sitting there,
Yeah, but it's funny to me though, because then I've heard this point brought up a lot, which is like kickboxing isn't as big a sport as people would think in the U.S., but that's it. That's literally it. Or Muay Thai. Muay Thai is so aggressive.
Right,
it is all stand and bang, and
Yeah,
it's not
pretty
that
much.
big in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's big outside, but like here, like one championship, they do. They'll have MMA, they'll have jiu-jitsu, and then they'll have like Muay Thai fights, and the Muay Thai fights are crazy.
yeah.
So many people get excited for
Yeah.
those.
It's just like nice shit. You don't want. Dana White could easily just have like split it up.
Well, that's
Like,
what
kinda like
one championship
One
does.
league here, one championship, like one
Yeah,
belt
yeah,
for like
one,
only
yeah.
boxing, one belt for only Muay Thai,
Well, Dana
Brazilian
White's getting into
jiu-jitsu.
boxing now.
Yeah, he is.
Starting his own boxing
is.
promotion.
Yeah.
You signing up? You getting recruited?
So I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
what he does. What he needs to.
I'll
pay
make some
people.
calls. I'll make some calls. I'll see what I can
He
do.
needs to.
Data.
Yeah, I wonder how he's gonna
No,
switch
for
it up.
sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing that I'm intrigued to see, because if he starts paying the boxers in that like promotion more than he does the UFC fighters, let's see how mad people
Exactly.
Yeah,
get.
good point. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
Because
think
you
about-
know, elite boxers aren't fighting for under.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's also a reason you don't see
1.4
as much as we're like, yeah, they're going to be a little tentative because of the fighting aspect of the kicks and all that. I think it's also the money wise, because you're going to tell me right now, like how many MMA fighters went over to boxing for the paycheck?
Yeah.
Not the
All the
sport.
time. All
It was
the
the paycheck. I think it's rare you're going to see it the other way around, because it's like MMA doesn't pay that much.
Yeah, right.
The only organizations that really like
Which is wild.
you can just cash out is like PFL, but even then you have to go through a whole tournament before you get that $1 million paycheck, and even then some of these fighters in boxing are signing for
They're already.
million is the low end
Yeah,
for them.
exactly,
So
yeah.
they're already earning that. So why would you go over there to just go get a pay cut for what? I mean, I guess you can make the argument that like depending on where you're at, the marketing aspect could work out for you, because the UFC I would say is social media wise and stuff bigger than boxing, but I
good
would
for
say
marketing,
globally
sponsorships, I
boxing I
gotcha.
think is still bigger than MMA.
Yeah. Overall, yeah.
probably
For sure.
see
I
it,
think
it'd
so
probably be
too.
right in our face. Like, well, there's times where like you would have to go out of your way to look up or find a boxing match that you really wanted to watch.
Well, like the argument I
Especially
make all the
sometimes, like-
time, and I brought this up to you last time you were on the episode, and I say to Justin all the time, it's just too much. There's too many belts. There's too many organizations.
Yeah,
like, I don't.
yeah.
Where do I have ESPN
Yeah.
Plus. I just want
How
to
do
watch
I
it.
know who's the champion?
Yeah.
The heavyweight champion.
I
Who do
know
I know
Tyson
who-
Fury. I know Anthony Joshua.
There's so many.
Like,
All right.
Canelo.
When you first started, like I guess boxing, like who would you say is your, or just all time couple favorites if you were to pick?
Like, who'd you grow up?
Loma.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Crawford.
Okay.
Hagler, if you're talking like all around.
Yeah, just
yeah,
all time. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are
dude.
some of my top guys. Yeah.
What about
Rocky
you, Hank?
Marciano.
Me, when I was younger, I was a big Roy Jones Jr. fan.
Yeah.
Who else? Sugar Ray, was it Robinson? Or no, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah. Leonard. Yeah.
I know the names.
Alright.
I've never
Those
watched
two.
them.
Yeah.
play. See, that's my
Those-
thing. I got you with Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
I got you with everybody that was in those movies.
He
'Cause like I
did, he
said,
did beat the Russian.
I knew I saw that I saw that one Mike Tyson fight where he bit that dude's ear
I was about
off.
to say,
and
no, it's
Van-
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody knows him.
I'm about to say
Well,
Muhammad
But
Ali
even then,
too.
even
I
then,
got
like
Muhammad Ali here.
my first. This is what I'm saying. Like I don't know what it was, but like my family. I'm Dominican, so it's baseball. Like that's all that we grew up watching. I didn't watch like nobody even watched like boxing like that. I feel like if you're going Hispanic, that's definitely like more leaning towards like Puerto Rican side. I feel like that's a bigger.
I know
thing.
Chavez had like a crazy. He's Mexican, but he had like a crazy record.
Crazy
was
record.
like-
His
He was
record is
like 100
his
and
record
fucking-
is insane, but it's sad because he fought recently and it just didn't look good. You know?
Yeah, it's bound to happen
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is
man.
he?
He's up there, bro. He has
It's like, imagine fighting.
he has like the insane amount of like wins. He has a few L's in there too, but still.
Like 100 and something.
No. I think he's like in 60, bro.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Insane. Either number is crazy. 60 and 100 is both crazy.
He has 6. Man, we gotta look this up. Look up Chavez's record.
I got you.
I think it's 60. He probably has like 65 or something. He probably has like 6 losses, something like that. A couple no contests.
You had to guess. What's your final guess?
I'm gonna go. He's in the 60s.
In the 60s?
60 W's.
Oh, okay. You were close. Total 115 fights.
I knew it's
107 wins.
That's what I was talking
6
about.
losses and 2 draws.
6
with
losses.
a total of 86
I
knockouts.
got the 6 losses.
Yeah.
I know
86 knockouts is wild.
Yeah, right.
His record is
86
I knew he
knockouts
was
is
over
insane.
100 because I seen this recently. Like, but I thought you were talking about someone else at one point.
How many times did he fight? When
That
did he?
is
That's like
that record is
crazy.
insane.
That's like a
As soon as you were like, yeah,
lot of days.
that's like straight out of middle school, dude.
Yeah, I think they're counting all his
You're right.
like yard fights and stuff because that's insane. I couldn't even. Like, what
Mexico-
is your
Mexico
schedule?
different.
Again, I'm going from the
Yeah,
MMA
Constantly
world.
fighting every week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm going from the MMA world where these guys fight maybe 2, maybe 3 times a year. I couldn't even imagine it. Like Khabib retired 29-0, and that's even including his early professional career. I couldn't imagine 115
What's his
fights.
age?
Wild, bro.
Let's see.
You're saying that he just fought.
He just fought recently,
Stop.
bro. Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't look
back
good.
in the day. Have
He
a lot of
won.
fights.
No contest, but
He's 62 right now.
62 still fighting.
it's wild. Canelo's a beast too. I like Canelo.
Was his last fight like an actual
Who-
boxing match, or was it like
It
an
was actually a
exhibition?
boxing
Let's see
match.
the year.
Who was
Yeah.
the first boxing match you remember that like stuck to you? Like mine is Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis. I saw
Oh yeah.
Mike Tyson lose when he got the tattoo.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I only know Tyson with the face tattoo.
Honestly, probably the
Started
the
fighting at
Holyfield one. that
Holyfield?
stuck
Oh,
out.
for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because
That's
I remember
fire, too.
like the whole family watching it together.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was a big. So like that stuck in my mind when
Oh,
that
wow.
I
happened.
That's a
remember
good
a lot
one.
of
It's a big
That
one to
was
stick in your mind.
wild,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody like rushed the ring and everything like that because they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
whoa, break it up, break it up.
Whoa. I was at like the.
He's selling his ears as gummies, like
Yeah.
weed edible
Edible
gummies.
gummies, yeah.
Like it's so
Yeah,
that's
funny to
funny.
me.
Yeah. So marketable.
They both have a hand in that, I think.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do.
you gotta
Yeah,
give
yeah.
him
He
something.
partnered up
How are you
with
gonna
him.
sell another
Yeah.
man's ear and not give him a cut?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
You wanna-
Punchline.
Yeah.
Chavez apparently started fighting when 1980 was his first like professional. He was like 16 when he was an amateur, and then he started his professional when he was 17 in 1980. So that's a long career, man.
long
That's
career.
a crazy long career.
Yeah.
I know Canelo got a lot of fights, but he ain't up there.
I don't know.
Oh,
There's only one way to find out.
He definitely got a lot of fights.
I like Canelo because I like his defense. I like his. I don't know. There's something about the way he fights.
If
that I-
Canelo fought Mayweather now, he would take him. I think so. Even though Mayweather's best
He-
like
I feel like he
defensive
needed-
He's got half the
boxer.
fights. He has a total of like 64,
He needed
60
that
wins, 2
Mayweather fight.
losses,
He
2
needed that.
2 draws, 39 knockouts. Again, that's another crazy number. I feel like more than 4 or
Yeah,
5
big
knockouts
time,
is
yeah.
insane to
Yeah.
me. I don't know.
I know De La Hoya had a good little run. He don't like Canelo. Both of them always be going at it. De La Hoya and Canelo.
Yeah, because it's like
I feel like a lot of
both
people
got
don't
their
like De
own
La
promotions,
Hoya.
right?
Yeah, De La Hoya. Yeah.
I
that's
only
something
hear
else.
Dana White shitting on him all the
Yeah.
time, like all the time, all
Yeah.
the time.
It's like a-
Yeah,
like
De La
a
Hoya. Yeah, he be
weird
doing too
guy.
much.
You know how much beef
Yeah.
though De La Hoya has with
Golden
Canelo.
boy.
He decided to go to the UFC Noche, even though Dana White hates him, over
Yeah.
going to the
boxing,
Canelo
yeah,
fight that was
yeah.
happening the same
Yeah,
day.
you
He was
don't
just
like
like,
Canelo
I'm
either.
good off of
Yeah.
that one. That's insane to me how much beef you have, and that's like Cinco de Mayo in its entirety
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going to go
yeah.
watch
Yeah.
Canelo fight. I feel like that's the whole thing. It's insane.
Yeah, that is wild.
Dominated. Too.
I don't know of anybody else that I can think of that has like. I mean, there's a couple of MMA fighters that are still like kicking around. Like Andrei Arlovsky's still fighting.
It's crazy, yo.
He's like he was like
been around
UFC
since
like
the
first
beginning.
heavyweight champion or something like that. He's like third or
that is
fourth
crazy,
champion. He's still
yeah.
kicking.
Still kicking.
I mean, like, listen,
Even like
you can attest to this.
Ferguson.
You just love it, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
You gotta see like
After
that's,
that knockout though, when Michael
Oh,
Chandler
yeah.
got him,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he should still be fighting.
Yeah,
He's
that
still
was
gonna
a
go.
better
one.
question for
That-
a while. Then he performed pretty good.
He
like,
did,
I
he
think
did.
Last or 2 fights ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing is you can still see that it's there. It's just I think that
That knockout was pretty
because of the name, it's like the same thing with Conor McGregor. Because of the name, you can't put him against whoever that's just coming in. It needs to be somebody
Yeah,
of
exactly.
worth.
Yeah,
so
big
when you
time.
put him against somebody of that, you can't expect them to be the same person of old. They're gonna
Yeah,
get,
I
especially
agree.
when they're these hungry people. Like Michael Chandler was like, I'm going for that
Yeah,
belt.
Michael Chandler.
I'm going for
savage,
that belt.
Savage mode.
So you can't like that's the same thing with Conor McGregor where I'm like his return, I don't know who you can match him up against that would not kill him. You know? Like there's
yeah.
too many people that have been too active. They're still fighting for gold. they're not in. They obviously they want the money, but he already has the money. Is the drive still there for him to keep going? I don't know if he's gonna.
Point earlier, yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna compete the same.
I know he's not like.
He's funny. Dude.
Yo, like the fact of seeing him
he's very
outside,
funny.
just like they talk about him, he's doing coke all the time.
He's
wild
out, man.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
You'll see Michael Chandler
I love it, though,
upset
like-
and depressed that he doesn't have a fight yet, and then you'll see Connor just partying,
Yeah.
announcing the new
Yeah.
release of his new
Chandler's
thing, and
there
he's just
waiting,
hanging
like,
out.
Yeah.
come on,
It's a
man.
fly suit getting hammered.
Chandler decided he finally got an offer from the UFC because they're like, listen, it's been a year and some change that you've been out, so he was like, you fight Charles Oliveira, that's your fight. And then if you win or lose, you can still fight Connor. But if you win, you get a title shot against whoever wins against Islam versus Arman Sarukian.
Kind of like moving on.
Yeah.
At that point,
But
I
it's
would.
Still there, yeah.
Like
yeah.
the money or
listen.
the belt. The belt might come with some good money
For you
too,
guys,
though.
for everybody here, right?
Yeah.
You all know Connor's a huge payday.
Yeah.
Huge payday. But you're in your prime. Are you waiting for that? Or are you going to take this in the meantime just to keep sharp?
If there's no like scheduled date and it's not promised, then
It
I'm gonna
keeps
have
getting
to.
Gotta
pushed
move
back.
on.
I know it keeps getting
It
pushed
keeps
back.
getting, like,
And you got to keep moving
you have to
until.
move on.
Because
Even now,
if you're in your
they're
prime,
like,
bro.
oh, Connor will fight in 2025. It's like, oh, the entire year? When? And the
Yeah,
whole that
yeah,
whole
yeah,
year.
we'll
and-
this guy.
Give me something right now.
Because
then
he was
we'll see
supposed to
then.
fight in June.
Yeah, I know. That
Like,
got pushed
think
back.
about that. Like, we're now in October, and he's like, 2025 at
That's
some
wild.
point.
Yeah,
And they haven't even
right.
said the beginning of 2025, the middle, or nothing. They haven't
2025.
said anything. They're just,
waiting.
you'll just see. So I feel like I would take the fight, 100%. Especially if it's like, now you get the, like, I guess if he beat Connor, then he'd get title shot because of the name and the worth. But if you're going to beat Charles Oliveira, you still get the title shot. And if you lose, you still get the money fight.
Right.
Why not? Let's take it. I think
He said even if you lose,
even if
you
he
get
loses,
Conor?
he still get Connor. He still
Yeah,
get, because
yeah.
the thing is
That
like,
makes sense because
contract.
not gonna
Yeah.
hop in. Yeah, right.
also
Yeah,
like,
because-
Michael Chandler, I feel like, is a fair fight. He's a year layoff because he's waiting for
Yeah,
Connor.
right.
He has 2 losses or 3, I think, now. I think he's tied
Tony
even
Yeah.
in the UFC.
Give it just to get a little.
Nah.
Just to
There
get
was a warm up.
3 losses ago, I would have agreed with you.
Just a warm up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Just to
That's
get
all
one
right.
down,
What about him and Volk? Are they in the same weight class?
No,
Nah.
they would have to, because the
He
thing
can
is, I think
drop down to
Connor
that, right?
Connor at this point
Connor's
is like,
not going down that low.
no, he's
Yeah?
like
Okay.
170.
On steroids now.
Because he was supposed to
Volk
fight.
need to redeem himself, bro.
Well, to be fair,
capable.
he was just super
he will.
active.
Super active, and then he jumped in pretty early when he fought.
Off a head
Yeah.
kick KO, he was just like, let's run that back. And I
Yeah.
think that was a terrible decision on his part. He didn't, but he has like something with him where he needs it. Like, he needs the fight.
I don't know.
Like,
He
the family
he,
life
like
and
foreshadowed himself when he did
Roadhouse.
like Old Man
No,
Volk.
literally.
Roadhouse.
Old Man Volk
Literally.
turned into Old Man Volk.
Oh yeah, he kind of did that to himself.
Yeah.
Well, with that, Alex Pereira posted a fun video where he was doing some social media content where he was in a trash bag next to some dumpsters. So let's see if that comes true too this weekend. You know what I mean?
Nah.
That's gonna
Nah.
be a meme for the ages.
Yeah,
Nah,
if
yeah.
he gets slapped by
Pereira got
Khalil Roucher, they're like, look at this bag of garbage over
Look at
here.
this
Nah.
It was
I
trash.
Alex Pereira
I
got
thought
this,
that was
man.
funny to see because like you would always see him as like a serious dude.
Yeah.
But like to see him kind of like
He's opening up a lot
yeah,
more.
he's opening up to like the brand of it.
Yeah, well, he
messing
did
around.
I think it was his last fight with Yuri. I think he encapsulated it perfectly. He has his hair, he grows his hair out when he's not fighting, and then when it's time for like camp and stuff like that, he goes shave
In the
fully,
mode.
and then you
Yeah.
see the seriousness just
Yeah,
lock
yeah,
in. You're
yeah.
like, all right, he's locked in for war, and he says he does
He's
it
a
for he
warrior,
does it
bro.
for that reason. He's like,
Yeah.
it's my warrior mode. Like I can't. There's no fun. There's just camp. It's just work. Like we're here for work. And I love that. I feel like you got to have that mentality.
Yeah, you do.
especially at that
definitely.
level.
Yep,
You know,
yep. People have said that, like
you're also fighting.
people that have never been to my fight and they know
Yeah.
me in the outside world. Like
Yeah.
I'm a goofball. Like I've done like open mic stand up comedy. I do
Oh, that's cool. That's
like
what's
I
up.
did used to sketch videos and stuff.
Right.
So like people know me like that, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check out the fight," and then they see me like, "Wow, like."
Locked
Kind
in.
of shocked me. Like
Locked
you come
in.
out different. Like even walking out is different. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Hey, what's
a
up, man?
total
Just
different
ignores him.
person. But that's and it's not even a gimmick. It's
Yeah.
like
You have to.
you have that's the only thought you have when
Yeah.
you're like you're walking out and you're a little scared. You're a little everything's you're pumped up. The adrenaline. It's real. Like
Yeah.
Do you have your family watch you fight?
yeah, whoever wants to go.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
That's also a topic I've heard with fighters of whether or not they feel like comfortable. Because then you'll have people that are like, I don't want any of my friends or family fighting, and then you'll have Eddie Alvarez, who you hear his wife in
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
his fights. Eddie.
Well,
Like-
my wife's always there. Tita, she supports.
I feel like
all
it's
day
great to
in,
have the
day out.
support,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. My older daughter, Aubrey, she's 10. She asked to go, but I haven't let her.
Oh,
I didn't let her go yet.
Yeah.
Like if she sees
Oh,
me
that's-
get
that
hurt
one's a
or
little
something,
different.
Yeah, I get you. The
Yeah.
worry, yeah.
yeah. And my youngest Scarlett, I mean, she's 3. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
for
do
sure.
take their kids, but yeah, I think like there's a
think there's-
different people do different
There's
things.
levels, there's timing with it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
I think when they get older, you'd feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But I feel like I wouldn't want like if my kids were like under like 10, I'd be like, not yet. Not
yeah,
yet."
exactly. Yeah,
Not
and
yet.
I know how they react to certain things.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, even like we were talking about Alex, he has his sons go, and I think his sons are in like the younger teens, and even then, like they were like. They could handle it. They were like making fun of Izzy when they were like gonna
Oh,
go
yeah, I
fight and
saw
everything.
that.
But then when they
Right,
saw
yeah.
dad get knocked out, they were
Yeah.
like
And then Izzy
Yeah.
was like
yeah.
pointing right at his kid.
Yeah, like, you know,
like,
so-
bro, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
I don't know. I mean, but I feel like when you grow up and you're like, no, like dad's a fighter. Like
Yeah.
you also learn. You're like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
job.
Still
That's
worry,
what it
but,
is.
you know,
yeah, you still worry, but that's the
it
job.
is.
It's the same thing with
Start
like.
Yeah.
training too. They would have to start getting it too.
Yeah.
Oh, they already
big
do.
time.
They already do.
Yeah.
I feel like
I wouldn't even like not even my parents. I don't think to like.
I think I could bring my girl, but I couldn't bring my mom.
My mom.
My mom would try to hop in the ring and go whoop some ass. She'd be like, whoa, put your hands on my
Freaking out.
son.
Yeah, chocolate that come out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I'm over here knocked out.
So funny.
Do you have
Well,
like a
let's-
certain like ring song like that?
Ooh.
No, not really.
No, really, no
No,
specific
I
one.
switch it up a lot.
Yeah.
Like last fight I had Kevin Wolf from Salem. I had him.
Just like whatever you're in the mood of, you just
yeah,
feeling it. Yeah.
yeah. Irish Celebration from Macklemore, I think.
I like
Yeah,
that.
very
All
nice.
different stuff.
I think it's the energy of the fight. You go
My
with that.
Time, Fabulous.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel
My
like.
Time's
Ooh,
up.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a good. I could imagine that in, like fight night or something.
Yeah.
Like, they
I'm
made
not
a
gonna
new-
lie. That's why Sean O'Malley, I became a big fan of him because for me, for the longest time, like since I started, I was just like, I would feel like "Superstar" by Lupe Fiasco is
Yeah.
the song, and then when he came out to
Yeah,
that for his
yeah,
title
you're
fight,
oh,
I was like,
that's it.
"This is
Mhm.
it.
This is the,
This
one.
is the
Yeah. I
moment."
was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you get, like I said, it's the energy you feel during that fight.
Yeah, big
I don't think
time.
I don't think I like the idea of like the WWE type where like you hear the song, you know that's that person,
Yeah,
like you
right,
tie it to
right.
them. But then it's also the creativity you get and the feel you have of like this is a different opponent, this is a different
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
Like I have
for
to
sure.
do something that's different this time, and then you get that music, you're like
That's it.
tied it to this person.
Yeah,
But
like,
I
and I
almost
think
thought-
like certain like back when I started, like I don't know, or whatever, like different songs were in. So like
Yeah.
you
I
know
guess
whatever
with the
came on
times.
during training, and I was like, oh, that pumps me up.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
come out to it.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Kevin walked
04
me out
Jeezy.
last
Yeah.
night. I had this my other buddy Khalil from Lynn walked me out one fight.
Oh,
and
that's
he
pretty cool.
gave a shout out with my name in the song and everything. So
Nice,
like,
nice.
it all
That's fire.
depends, you know.
Yeah.
I try to help other people out too.
I think
Yeah.
that's the dope thing about you too is that you have like I feel like a good group of people around you. So one thing I want to
put
get
on
into,
for that.
obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
you're a fighter,
Thank
man,
you.
but you're also coaching. You're also in this
Yeah,
coaching
yeah,
bag
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So-
it's wild because like you could see my record. It's not the best record, but I'm a fighter.
You're a
Yeah.
fighter,
Uh,
man.
How many fans, sponsors, like everybody that's backed me, no matter
Yeah.
what, go in, win or lose.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
following I have, the people that stand behind me, it's like
I feel like for
Yeah.
me, like the respect that I have for
crazy.
fighters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
At the end of the day,
it
the
speaks
record is
volumes.
nothing. You went in there, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you also like listen. Like you may say it like that. You have a good record, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You have a good record. Like you see some of these people
All
that
around,
have
bro.
they're 1 in 45.
yeah.
Like you know
well,
what I
well,
mean?
here's the thing too. Like you can like you probably looked at the people I fought, like
You
Olympian.
beasts.
I like everybody that I was supposed to beat, I beat.
Yeah.
Everybody I lost to is like high level. Like now you can look at them 15-0, some 20-0, and I go fight in their promotion a lot too. So like.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my losses, I'll mainly decisions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
Yeah,
they're-
lost.
true
they're-
that.
And most of them, I think one fight got called,
Close,
and I
too.
think it was early. It was at the Garden, but I went up 2 weight classes, and that dude didn't lose a
That's
round
tough.
in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And but he had a fight scheduled. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks after mine, and he was signed with Matchroom, the promotion I was fighting for.
Yep.
So like, if you get cut, you're out for a month, suspended. So like,
Yeah.
not saying the game's sneaky, but
Yeah. You
pull him
know.
out as fast. And any chance you can stop it, because he has a fight in 3 weeks,
Mhm.
and it's a bigger fight than this one. So save him.
Exactly. You want to
Even if I wasn't gonna win, he didn't want to get cut.
Yeah.
And like I fought, like I'm saying, I fought a lot of guys that I'm fighting in their promotion. Meaning I'm out in the ring and I'm watching them walk out, and they're walking out with the owner of the promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
you know what I
I'm fighting
mean?
everybody.
Yeah.
all of my
Hands.
losses
Underdog,
almost, you can
yeah.
pretty much see that, you know? So,
There's also like you got to put some weight on your name too. Like, listen, there's a reason that they called you off of the layoff to go and fight for the belt. Like
Right,
that,
yeah,
there's a reason
yeah.
for that too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you
true.
show the toughness and the skill.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
always have to like give in my opinion, you got to split it. Toughness can mean a lot of things. When someone says that guy is tough, it can mean a lot. But you also have a lot of skill. I've watched your fights. I've done them a deep dive. I love the sport, so I'll be up at 3 a.m. watching YouTube videos, and I've seen your fights.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you're savage.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna tell you that to
facts.
your face. You're
Appreciate
a
it.
fucking
Yeah,
savage.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's a reason.
Even, like I've heard like how good of a coach you are too, like from the grapevine, like people talking. Like
Nice,
like,
appreciate
no,
that.
For real,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I see you like posting on Instagram a lot too. Like there's like you have a pretty decent camp now of a amount of people that are in there now. It seems like you guys
it's
are really
lot
starting to build a
different.
roster.
Yeah.
So do you all fight under the same promotion, or do you have just like?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how did you get the name like Mantis? Like, where that?
So
come from?
Mantis came when I first started training.
Okay.
The people that I don't know if because I took some notes on shout outs and stuff, but I'll get into like when I
You
first
shout them out right now. You can just
Yeah,
shout them out
yeah.
at the beginning,
So
the
I
middle, the
used to-
end.
I worked at a place, Appleseeds, and I worked with my buddy Adrian and Eddie. I'll give them a shout out because like
Yeah.
we used to like shadow box with each other, and they were like, hey, you should go to a gym, an MMA gym I know in Lynn, TPS, Team Perdelsere. So after a while of them bugging me to go, I finally went, and I was like
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah.
I was training like 4 6-hour days.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, while working still. Like I've never stopped working. I've always worked.
Yeah.
You know, but on top of that, I was going.
Damn, how do you sleep, bro?
I don't.
Yeah,
now I do.
that's what I'm saying.
Now I do.
That's-
Now
that's
I'm
what's
getting
up.
older. I go to bed
That's
early,
good,
but
that's good.
no, I was putting in 4 6-hour days. Like
Yeah.
TPS was my first gym,
All right.
and my first trainer, Sarome, he was into like naming the fighters out of like Animal Kingdom and things like that. And
Okay.
he would he said Mantis, like flexible, fast at striking. Yeah,
Vicious
so,
too.
yeah,
I don't know. You've
vicious,
seen those nature videos.
aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Praying mantis is a crazy man. Like,
Yeah. So
You're the
and it
toughest
just,
insect, bro.
it
Yeah.
just stuck with me. It used to be the
That's
Green
fire.
Mantis,
That's-
but I thought that was kind of superhero-ish.
yeah. No,
So I was
mantis
like,
is fire.
Mantis.
No,
Yeah.
Mantis
Just
is
Mantis.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
It's fire.
I like it.
Yeah, but that's where it came
Mantis
from.
got hands, bro.
That's it.
They got hands all day,
Yeah.
bro. No matter what style, bro, they
Yeah.
got hands.
They
you know
do,
what I mean?
they
That's
do.
good.
Exactly,
That's good.
Yeah.
But how's how do you feel like you training for a fight and coaching at the same time? Like getting these other guys ready? Because I see that I forget his name right now, but there's somebody that was like either fighting recently or that has a fight that's coming up that's in your camp too that you were like promoting them.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of them that are fighting. So my teammates Wahid, Flo, and Thomas, they
Shout
all
out to them.
huh?
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
for
Dude,
sure.
they've been grinding and helping me out big time.
Oh, I see them too at those 5 a.m. workouts and all.
Yeah,
That's something you guys
so,
do.
So I don't know what their camp was like before I got there, but I'll get into the backstory because I'm at a new gym.
Yep.
So I was in Haverhill with Sean Farley, my coach, and like last camp, and throughout since I've been with him, Haverhill's a far drive, so I'm working full time, going there, coming home. It's 45
It's a
minutes
mission.
there and
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was only there 3 days a week, fighting. So after I'll just get into my last fight, 2.5 years off, I dive in, I come in the gym right away. I tell him, hey, I want to take a fight with Kevin. This is what I want to get into. And, I barely gave myself time back in training.
Yeah.
And it was hard to constantly get there. So with fighting a caliber like a fight like that,
Yeah.
you belong. You're supposed to treat yourself to be able to train 5 days a week or train hard for something like that. And I have no regrets, but I was training 3 days a week, because of the travel. It's hard. I have my kids, I have my full-time job, my wife, my life. You know what I mean?
Balance, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
No regrets, but you could definitely see that you're like, oh, this is how I should do it going forward.
Yeah,
You could
and-
still see it like that.
yeah, and that's like I said, I used to train 4 to 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I haven't done that in years.
Yeah.
So-
it takes a toll on you for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. So I was out for a while after my first kid, then I hopped back in. I said, all right, I want to fight Kevin. It's for the title. As soon as I went in the gym, I got right back into a fight camp. And you don't realize that's the wrong move until you realize that's the wrong move.
Yeah, yeah.
Because during the fight, I think what happened was, like, when I got hit, I think my body forgot what it felt like to get hit and be that fighter and like keep myself contained and you know what I mean, follow game plan, because I didn't follow game plan like I intended to. But anyways, after the fight, I was back out for a while. I didn't even I wasn't in the gym. I was trickling in when I found the time, but it's hard. So it was eating me alive. I'm like, I want to find a gym closer, but you know, I'm loyal to my coaches. So
It's like a barber.
My final chapter was because nothing was. I didn't think anything was gonna work with a camp with me training and all that. So I finally had to just talk to my coach Sean and just tell him straight up look, there's a gym in Marblehead. It's a 12-minute drive from me.
Yeah, huge difference.
Huge difference. I can go there, train, and I can make it happen. You know, train like I need to train.
Exactly.
And he understood. He's like, look, if we're being honest, it never really fully worked out. We worked good together. We have a good connection, but it just wasn't enough time.
That's good that he understood it, though.
Camp. Yeah,
I think that's a sign of a good coach, though, is that they know that they're listen,
other
sure.
guys
it's
are
what's
there
best for
5
you.
days a week,
Exactly.
and I can't get there like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going into my 20th pro boxing fight. You know, what am I doing? Training only a few days a week.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to Mike Reyes. He's the new coach that I'm with.
Yep.
And I'll say it honestly, because I told him too, I didn't expect him to be the coach that he is, or even the gym that it is. I get the work there. He's there watching constantly. Every day he's there ringside watching all the fighters, putting us through 3 days a week. We're doing strength conditioning, skills training, pad work, and then 2 days a week I'm sparring. So
That's dedicated. That's good.
and he had a team meeting when I first got there, the second day, and he told all the fighters in the morning. He said, listen, 6 o'clock, be ready for strength conditioning, because I'm there earlier, but I get certain work in before they all come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I get to work with them. He told them, he said, listen, we're starting at 6 when we do strength conditioning or sparring. That means be ready at 6, because Matt has work and he's out of here at a certain time. So don't come in at 6 starting to get ready.
Yeah, trying to warm
You're
up at
ready
6
at
o'clock.
6.
Exactly. Be ready.
And they all do it. I mean, they're up. When I walk in the gym, they're already strapped up sometimes.
Good team.
In there.
Yeah,
Right?
That's a great team.
So I appreciate it. So it's been a camp that I haven't had in a really long time, and I'm there 5 days a week. Last couple of weeks, 6 days a week. I've been working with Gabe the Menace Morales. He's been helping me. I've been helping him. He's not in our gym, but he's been coming for sparring, and he's fighting on that card, the 19th too.
That's
nice.
But to the point of that's the whole switch in the gyms and the training I deserve for myself.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, like I said, that's a great coach for them to be able to be like, no, listen, you need to go get what you need to get and get this right training and the right skill that fits your day.
He knew.
But it's also
Coach
amazing
Farley.
that you, at the same time, also knew for yourself that you needed to make a change. Because there's also a big thing where you see a lot of fighters where they are a part of a camp, and every now and then they'll change, whether they're a part of a big team and they're not getting the dedication that they need, or maybe in your sense, where it's the commute and everything like that just doesn't fit in with my schedule, because you also have a family and whatnot.
That's it.
You have a job, you have things you have to do, but at the same time, this is your passion, but you all have to make it work.
Yeah, I have to make it work.
It's amazing you were able to get that done.
I was looking at my last fight, Kevin being my last fight because of it, and then I found a way to make a camp work, and now I'm there's a fire, wow, training 5 days a week. How is this happening, at my age, and how's this happening early in the morning like that? These guys are up early in the morning training. You know what I mean?
It's good. You're surrounding yourself with people that have the same ambitions and the same goals as yourself. It changes your mindset entirely.
Yeah,
you get this this reawakening almost. You know what I mean? That fire comes back. You know? I
and
like
it's
that.
cool because I love the training with Farley, but I would go in and it would be mainly me and him unless somebody was there scheduled for sparring with us.
Yep.
But I go in here and there's 4 or 5 other fighters, pro fighters, just grinding with me, putting in that work. So it's that I haven't had that team training in years. Back when I was fighting MMA, really.
Yeah. That's good. I always I don't know, it sounds to me like the Mamba mentality. I reference it to basketball, Kobe. Same thing, the amount of workouts that he would do, it's insane. To be great, you have to put in that overtime.
Yeah.
You have to.
Oh yeah, have to put in that work.
It's literally that 100%.
Yep.
Well, I guess since you pouring up, let me see.
Yeah,
let me,
For
let me get a
sure.
little-
I
little
find
something
that it's
there.
also a thing of, I don't know about like you, but for me, I find not fighting because I haven't trained yet, which I want to talk to you about. I want to get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Everyone says that.
No,
No,
listen.
everybody.
Until you walk into the gym.
I'm about to
like,
say
do you
that
want
a
to
couple
come
times.
back?
To finish the thought first, I find for myself in everything that I've ever done in my life, I find that working with other people and being able to either teach them something or just working in the same environment, you pick up on a lot of things that maybe you yourself didn't know. So working in that kind of team, like it's just, you could have thought one way, but then you go into a whole nother setting and you start gaining a new appreciation for a lot
Huge.
more. And
Yeah.
you also start picking up on things, or maybe you teaching somebody else how to do something sharpens your own tool
Yeah,
sets,
right,
you know?
big
So
time.
that's a
Like
cool
reminding
thing.
you of details that
Yeah.
you fight in.
Well, it's funny, like you say, being a coach and a fighter is like, I see flaws,
Yeah.
and I call out flaws, and then I have my flaws that I might call out the
Yeah.
flaw for, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
I can see it and I can coach it, but then I have
Yeah.
these little things. I'm
Well,
like,
that's why you have a coach too. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
you just,
exactly.
not just you by yourself.
Exactly.
that's that same philosophy. It's like you're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach. You feel me?
Yeah. And it's funny though because I thought I was like, not that I knew everything. I didn't. I'm far from that. You know, I've never became a champion or anything, except inside.
No,
but,
no, no. You,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
stand up, bro.
But
For sure.
at this
Still
point,
got in
at
that
this
ring,
point-
bro.
At this point in my career, I was thinking, just keep sparring, keep sharp, and get my cardio boosted to the roof.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna learn anything new for these fights coming up, but I've been here, and the coach fixed a couple big things that has changed like tremendously.
Yeah.
And that's where like I'm like, wow, the whole time like I've been doing this when I should have been doing this.
Exactly.
And now it's more instilled in my head because I get that 5 days of training, not just 3. So now I'm constantly working what he's teaching me. And I'm like, I thought, I didn't think there was any more growing for me to do. I thought I was like getting ready to boost my cardio, do what I needed to do and get out of the game. But I'm like,
Yeah, bro. I was getting that armor 100%. Like no chinks in the armor. You feel me?
yeah,
I
exactly.
feel the same way with basketball. We're like
New learning for me.
So with boxing, for me, basketball, I played a long time. I've noticed a huge difference from when I started to when I play with people now.
Yeah.
Like the evolution of the game has completely changed.
Yeah.
I'm learning new things from young players. Do you feel like you're
A lot
doing the
of
same
shooting.
with like boxing, where when you're sparring these younger up and coming people, like learning from?
Yeah.
Has boxing changed?
Yeah, I don't
since
know
you
the
start-
age. I don't know. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, like when.
Yeah, it depends because everyone has different styles. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
certain styles I just go against that I can dominate, or there's certain styles where I'm like, gets frustrating, and I like working with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Can you like tell off rip like the footwork? Like okay, I know this style. Look just by like off the footwork, the
yeah,
hands.
you
You
can
know.
see how the person's gonna move.
Yeah.
Or yeah. But like I'll even say it. I'll be up front. My teammate Wahid was like, he's heavier too, but I was working with him, and he's fought in a lot of like amateur world championships and stuff like that. So he's a real point guy.
Yeah.
Quick. And just like when I worked with him the first time, he was like moving so much, and it was so frustrating. And
Oh, I
like,
bet, yeah.
but I like working with him because
Yeah.
like that's what gets you to grow. Is like how can I figure out a
Yeah,
way
you
to
don't want to
stop
keep
that?
like steamrolling the same person over
Yeah,
and over again. You
yeah,
want
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
that gives you a challenge so you can
Exactly,
overcome
yeah.
it.
Start learning.
Like the other day, I was playing against some younger people, and they were like, he's killing us with this old school shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm cooking everybody, but I'm doing it like the old fashioned little Jordan fucking footwork.
I feel the same way because it's like half court. I got y'all. Once they're like, yo, let's play full court.
Actually, my
Then-
teammate, who's been a big sparring partner for me, he's fighting tonight. Thomas,
Oh, yeah?
he's out in
Oh, for
Texas.
real?
Yeah.
Yo,
Bro,
shout out to him.
Yeah,
shout
bro,
out to
shouts
him,
out.
yeah.
Good luck on that one,
Take
man.
the victory. I don't know
Oh,
if he's
yeah,
already
yeah.
fought or what, but yeah,
Texas
they're all
is,
over there.
What is it, like a few hours behind us or something like that? I think so. Yeah.
I think
around the same time.
Around the same
One
time?
hour.
Same time.
maybe like
I guess it
like an
depends
hour.
on where in Texas. I don't know. Texas is big. I don't know if they got different time zones on that thing. That's huge. But shout out to him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's insane, man, to think about like the traveling aspect as well. Because you brought up beforehand that you've been to like Vegas to go and fight and stuff like that. So the opportunities you get is also insane as well.
That I would take that again too.
100%.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kidding me, dude? Title shot.
That-
Take
yeah.
it. Vegas, take it.
I
all of it,
look
take
at
it.
like free hotel. They
Yeah,
give you
all
meal
included?
cards.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because that's another cool thing about this the sport. Like sometimes people will sign up to go to a gym just to like get the workout in.
Yep.
You don't know the career you just started.
Exactly.
You have no idea what
Big
you just
time.
started.
Yeah,
The
that
path.
happens.
It's
Enjoy
like
the perks while you can, man.
yeah,
You
because
feel
even
me?
you said you started and you immediately were like, oh, I like this. What did you
Yeah,
say? 4 hours,
exactly.
4 hour
Yeah.
days or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah, you fall in love with that
Yep,
immediately. So you
Yeah.
could tell that you immediately like drew yourself to that.
Yeah, completely. As soon as I went, and
Yeah.
I'm like always a dedicated person too. So like
Nice.
my buddy would always say like he knew as soon as I walked in there I was gonna be like
Fuck, yeah.
run with it. Here I am like 15 years later.
Mhm.
He's like, I told you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still here.
But
Called
I
it.
I'm
told
still
you.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
That's
here,
awesome.
yeah.
Because there was a point
Called
where
it.
like I wish I never stopped like competing or playing basketball.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like fucking on point right now.
Yeah.
But it's like I love that like I'm still here kind of thing.
Because you have
like,
the love of the game. It's
yeah,
the same
yeah.
idea
That's
with like
the thing.
with
Like
you
you
Yeah,
probably love the
yeah.
art of boxing. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love fighting, and
Yeah.
it's like right. I mean, it's my life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like when that's done, it's gonna be a sad moment. Like
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of it is that like with most sports, it's part of it is done, but not the whole thing is done. Because you
Yeah.
can always do like for example, exhibition fights are always a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
coaching
for
is always a
sure.
thing. Getting in there and sparring with the younger guys and
Yep,
all that kind of
yep.
stuff is always a thing. So it's not like you're leaving the game.
no, but it definitely will feel different.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
That
But we'll
walkout-
cross that bridge when we
walkout
get there.
feeling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because we got
All
a
in
we got a
time.
big one coming up. What is it? October 25th. You got it.
October 25th.
Scary hours.
Yeah, yeah. We got a good
hours.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We'll keep that one for later.
Yeah, that fight. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man.
Hell yeah.
How
Looking
excited are you
forward
right
to
now?
Yeah.
Very. You're already envisioning it. You got the whole thing, the walkout and everything, the tunnel vision, just ready for
No, I
it.
feel good for it.
I think
Yeah.
you
I
should.
feel like I did everything I deserved. I needed to.
It sounds like
Completely.
for me, it sounds like you definitely did. Like
Yeah.
the fact that you had the wherewithal to change the camp, go and get those 5 days a week that you needed, put
Yep.
in those hours, the team you're surrounding yourself with, the coach you have now,
Yeah, man.
the pieces
it's
are there, man.
Felt great, dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah, listen, you have a
Yeah,
lot of
it
backing.
that's
feels
good,
good.
You have a lot
man.
of backing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right
Yeah.
now. You got a lot of fans.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You got a
Like-
lot of people
like
out
I
here
said,
supporting you, man. That's
Hell
what's
yeah.
up.
Thank you.
Any time do you have an upcoming fight, like Melvin says, and I'll say the same thing. Now that you're here, part of Uneducated MMA, you will always have an
Yeah,
open
yeah,
door.
thanks
You
for
and you
coming
guys.
through, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
100%.
So you guys are going to fight. Where is it? Revere. Yeah,
Revere, yep. Oceanside Event Center. It's the old Club Lido,
Okay.
right at Wonderland,
Oh, okay.
right where that parking garage is.
Yeah, like
that
right
building
there.
right
Yo,
there.
check
yeah.
it out.
Yep.
Is that like a ballroom type deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
Nice, nice.
Do you feel better fighting like locally, or do you prefer when you go fly out somewhere else?
I like the travel aspect, but hometown for sure.
I think it's a cool thing. Like we were talking about earlier, having your people come and support you.
Yeah,
you know?
nice
friends,
and local.
family, and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's a different
Yep.
feeling. That hometown advantage, like people would say.
Exactly. Twin Rivers is like I had my whole MMA career there with CES, and that's who I'm fighting for this time too.
Yep.
And they all go out to Twin Rivers out in Rhode Island for me. So now now it's nice to have like a
Shorter drive home.
25-minute drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drive there, drive back.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great fight for you, man. I'm looking forward to it and super excited.
Me too. I
Trust me.
had two people back, maybe not back out, but they got injured. And
Yeah, I
Yeah.
looked into it a little bit.
Yeah.
The original opponent you had fell out. Yeah,
Yeah, he
two of
fell
them.
out.
Oh.
The second one got injured.
Damn.
Injured.
how-
I don't.
They're like, who am I fighting?
When did you?
It's
Yeah.
like,
No, right.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I feel like that is always something with it. You know what I mean? It's
I'm
like,
not
how
calling
injured are
bullshit,
you?
But you never know. They
Yeah, you
could have
never
just
know.
like been like, all right, yeah, his record looks like, and then they looked at who I fought and like, I don't know.
That's
He's
that's what I'm saying.
risky.
You
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
put too much in the record because
He's a well-experienced
it's
person.
just a
Yeah.
Stand up guy all around.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, all around.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put too much on the record because then you see who it is you've been fighting, the caliber of fighter you've been
Yeah,
fighting. It's
yeah.
insane. The caliber of fighter you are as well is also
Yeah.
like they
Nah,
got to put
much
some
respect,
much
some weight and
respect.
respect in your
Appreciate
name. I'm telling you, like I've looked into the fights and you're no joke, man.
No, I appreciate
No
it.
pushover, absolutely.
it.
And that's going to. I'm looking at both cameras right now. Anybody of you guys that are looking out, he's not no pushover. This is not. Don't look at that record and think anything else. So he will mess you up, bro. I've seen some footage. Get those hands, man.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, 100%. And we're not done with this whole thing yet, by the way. That wasn't me closing this out. I just wanted to make sure I got that out of the way, so we had
Appreciate
that
it.
ready
Yeah,
to go.
October 25th, Revere.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be a good outing for you, man. I think the energy that you came in with today, you can clearly tell that you're ready for it. You're sharp. You're focused. Like I am not a fighter. I have not trained. I've not done anything. I've done sports like a bunch. Like I've done football and all that kind of stuff. So I've had like.
Fight?
I've been in like fist fights for
You're
sure.
a fighter. You're a
But
fighter.
I wouldn't. No. See, this is different because here's my
No,
thing.
it's
Like,
definitely fighter. It's survival versus like actual.
there was like I had a moment and a realization with me where it's like you start watching like fighting, whether it's boxing or you watch MMA, and you're like, man, I want to get into a fight, dude. I want to, you know what I mean? And then you start watching a little bit more.
You're
You're
in
like,
the fight.
wait a minute. These people walk the earth freely. I'm not getting it. You like if I was to like go and I see somebody with cauliflower ear, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You don't know what you're getting into yourself into, bro.
Like,
Like,
I guess
I'm
you know how to
all
roll.
the way.
He's a well-experienced
There's
fighter
also
right
there's
there.
also a difference mentally where like
Yeah.
you the fight's a month away. You're planning this fight.
Yeah.
You guys are both planning this fight. You know, it's like the whole month you think about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like whereas street fights,
Street
where
fighting's off.
it
Street
just
fights
happens.
is off
Boom.
random.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking about
Usually
it,
pretty quick.
you know, it could be worse or it could be better. I guess it depends who you
Yeah,
are.
it
but
it depends who's ready at that
you start
moment.
going,
You know.
oh, crap, I'm fighting in 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. Though. I'm not
Usually
drunk.
way better shape in this.
There was
Another round.
a few weeks ago, the Dana White Contender Series, which is basically guys that have like a couple of pro fights. They'll basically go here, and if they do well, they have to impress. Then they get a contract to go to the
shot,
UFC.
yeah.
There's a guy that had a panic attack like minutes before he was supposed to walk out, and they had to cancel the fight. I'm talking like 6-7 minutes before he was supposed to walk out. The guy that he was fighting was already in the octagon. Like full-blown panic attack and was like, I can't do this.
ready.
But then he fought the week after and he was perfectly fine. It's just something right there. It just didn't click. I don't know what it is. So it is, like you said, that whole month, it could be good or bad.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
could be good or bad.
It's all the way you look at it.
Because sometimes it could be whatever excuse. Like, I know I'm rocking this shirt right now, but I heard about the story with this, with Muhammad Ali, when he was, like, fighting this man.
No, what's up?
So, basically, Muhammad Ali was screaming to him to get up and fight, get up and fight. His excuse was he had to use the bathroom. He had to go take a shit. He's like, he was like,
So he stayed down?
Yo, you can look this up. I'm telling you, like this iconic photo right here is due to that, bro.
That's
I
insane.
didn't know that.
That's
I know
insane.
the fight. I didn't know that. Story,
Yeah, I'm
though.
telling you. Like, look it up.
The fighting, I mean,
he's a beast. Like, you should just start looking at that picture.
the photo's crazy.
Yeah, he
the
should
photo's
himself.
crazy.
He really should himself.
We're getting that one right here.
Yeah, we definitely need like Muhammad Ali. Back his,
We're working
It's
on it.
working.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
We got this right here.
Send
though.
fan art.
yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
PO box. We'll figure it out.
PO box.
I think it's dope, man. I think there's a lot that goes into the fight mentality, man, because you don't know. Like, there's also like I saw a fight recently, Brian Battle versus insert name of fighter here, where like the fight stopped a little early because the guy thought he claimed he got injured with like an eye poke, but then Brian Battle went up to him and he was just like, "You're being a pussy right now. You're being a big pussy right now." And then immediately he stopped faking the eye injury and just started getting in his face. He's like, "Oh, I thought you didn't want to fight a second ago. What happened? Now
Yeah.
you want to swing
Oh,
on me
now you
after
wanna
the
fight?"
fight's over?" It's like, all right, I don't know. Maybe sometimes dudes just decide to like chicken out, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's a different mentality you gotta have.
Everyone's
to be in
not built for it. That's all I can say.
no, for sure. But that's why I keep saying, I keep reiterating, the fact that you got into that, you kept going back into that ring shows how tough you are.
Like,
Because
I know I've told you this before. Like, back then, I've always wanted to be a boxer until I met someone who really wanted to be a boxer. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see what else I'm good at.
You really want to do this?
You train. You train.
You trying to get the belt?
well,
I
that's
didn't
why
know people train this hard.
I brought that up before, where it's like it's the same thing I said with like Connor. There's a difference between going for the paycheck and then going for the gold.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
there are people that
Like,
are
what
like, I'm here
drives
for
you
the
really?
glory
Yeah,
of this.
Exactly.
Like I
what
want
drives
the
you really?
victory.
Like, what? Exactly.
That's
what would you say that
Up-and-coming new
what
guys
drives
all
you?
hungry.
How about you? What do you feel like? What's your hunger?
It's love of the sport, from what I
Yeah,
can tell. Like
honestly,
you just
like,
love
it's
the
something I
scrap.
love. Yeah, it's something
Yeah.
part of my life. Like,
Like, was it like before even like training professionally, like when you were young, that you felt like, oh, like
I'll
like,
be honest,
this-
not really.
nothing happened,
Yeah.
no
It's just
school
later
fights
on, like, yo,
Yeah,
you should
yo,
probably-
I have a twin brother, and
Yeah?
like he would always beat the shit out of me. He's bigger. He's a
okay.
bigger twin.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
now I think he's like 6'1", like maybe 200 pounds or
Yeah.
something like that. But
You got him now though. You can tell him.
I got him now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Tell him.
nah, he's a scrapper though. He would go.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
goes up to like, well, not anymore. But when I started fighting and stuff, he started boxing too.
Yeah, yeah.
like the
Okay.
chess boxing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. Like twin brothers.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like my best friend.
That's
He is my
awesome,
best
bro.
friend. Yeah,
Right.
but anyways, he would beat the shit out of me, and like I would immediately hop on my back and kick my feet up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my go-to.
That was your drive
That
right
was
there.
my
Like,
go-to.
just wait till I
Yeah,
get to
so
my brother,
but every
Out of
time,
love, out of love.
But anytime there was fights out like with our friends and stuff, I
Yeah.
was always down to fight, and I would
Okay.
always, I didn't care who it was. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
It's
I
like
was always
technology
a
you have to have.
scrapper. Yeah,
Like I used to shadow box with my friends back in the day, just for fun, here and there.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a different hunger, different beast to actually do
Yeah,
out there.
I mean, I would always, I would go after the biggest guy too. I didn't care, and I was always like,
That's what's up, man.
like skateboarding, biking, skating. Like, I would be the one where like people wouldn't like say there was like a set, which is stairs, like an 8 set, 7 set, whatever it is. They wouldn't jump off it and do anything. I would be doing 360s, like trying 360s.
Oh,
damn, bro.
Like you know what I mean? I was always doing that extreme.
Ain't
like
nothing
trying
hurt
to
you,
be,
bro. You just
Like
Yeah.
Dave Mirra.
Yeah.
I just always tried stuff. Like,
saw-
Exactly.
I was never really scared.
I saw
what's
a
up.
clip the other day with Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. It was like this was from a while ago, but it was an interesting one, and I want to ask you the same thing, right? So you said your one of your daughters is like 10, right, or something.
Yep.
So gets into a fight at school. What are you telling her? Fight back, tell the teacher. What are we talking?
Me and
Depends
my
how it
wife
starts, man.
say the same thing. Like if somebody's picking on you and bullying you, or your sister, you have the right to throw a punch.
Yeah.
Green light, bro.
My parents will.
If there's hands.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's hands.
Don't
that
start
might
it,
open
parents
the
but
always
door.
said
if
if
they
it's
start
like-
with you.
Yeah, if it's you're getting like punched, swing.
Yeah,
If it's like they're
yeah.
picking on you, tell a teacher. But if
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
swinging,
Yeah, if it's like, I mean, in my personal thing, what I would say is like if it's like real bullying, like nasty, like
Yeah.
something really close, like interfering your space.
Difference between hatred versus like actually
yeah,
like
somebody calls her like
saying
a
names or
name,
something.
like, calling her stupid.
don't go.
Yeah.
Don't go
Don't
throwing the first
fight.
punch either.
And she's
Yeah,
smart.
exactly.
Like she wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember my
so you already
parents-
showed another one too. You already
Yeah.
showed another one too. You already know.
Yeah.
She's holding your mitts and fucking practicing
equipment at home.
Yeah.
but we do say like know how to stick up for yourself and
For
your
sure,
little
that's what's
sister.
up. That's good.
Would
That's
you
good,
would you
man.
recommend them to go into like any sort of like combat sports, whether it be boxing, MMA, Muay Thai?
I used to think that, but I don't know, man.
'Cause
Maybe something like it's their decision, I guess.
It's their
But
decision,
I'd hate
sure.
to see him get hit so much.
Oh no, for sure. But
Yeah.
I feel like I see a lot more kids now getting it. Like beforehand, it was always like karate, but now I'm
Yeah.
seeing kids taking jujitsu and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
BJJ is
Yeah.
the
A
big
lot of kids
thing.
is like-
yeah.
Right.
Taking jujitsu.
And
for
I
sure.
I recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
good to
think
know
it's
how to
about-
roll.
I don't know.
Restrain
And get out
people.
of
I
certain
don't know about
roles,
like a
you know?
striking thing, but I feel like BJJ would be good for most. I feel like just in
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in case you never know, a good
Well, listen,
grappling exchange, you
it
can get
takes
out of
a
it.
long time to acquire your black belt in BJJ.
Yeah.
It's a
And
journey for
karate,
sure.
you see 6-year-olds walking around with 3 stripes on their black belt.
Exactly.
Grab those. We don't
I
count
beat up a
those.
Hey,
black
and I'm
belt.
not
in
saying-
middle school.
I thought you were gonna say I beat up a 6-year-old.
I'm not saying
I beat up a 6-year-old.
karate's fake. I'm not saying people don't
No,
know
Stephen
their
Wonderboy
shit,
Thompson
but-
would disagree with you that karate's
Yeah.
fake. He would definitely disagree with you.
Well, yeah,
Karate.
it's definitely not fake, and there is masters who don't do that. But then there's people who are like, "Oh, thanks for giving me your money. Here's your black belt."
What's his name?
Exactly.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven
Yeah,
Seagal.
Yeah,
number
yeah.
one. Him, phony, fake. Watch those clips. What is it? Wing Chun? Lies.
We have a
Keto,
battle.
right?
Steven
Yeah,
Seagal.
keto,
keto.
Hit us
Yeah.
up, Steven Seagal.
Lies,
versus
lies,
Wonder
bro.
Bread here.
Oh, I'll fight him.
Hilarious.
I'll fight him. I'll fight him. But I
You've
want
seen he's
cameras.
dodged bullets, bro.
Bro, that man is a farce, bro. He's a liar. and a
Don't mess with the
schemer, bro.
ponytail.
The jet black ponytail at the age of 67 is
Yeah.
crazy to me, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
That is crazy.
All right. Now I'm gonna get into some random questions, just because I don't know. We got some stuff going on. So we obviously this is an MMA podcast. Normally we usually go through like fight breakdowns. We'll go through the whole card and whatnot. That's a whole lot. We already put on an episode for 307. We already got your picks on Khalil versus Alex. I think you're wrong. I don't know, man. I'm still leaning towards Khalil, man. I don't.
Yeah.
Nah, bro,
I
I got
don't even
this.
know if
The
that's
guy who
Bro, I
moved
got
to
this.
Thailand to go train Muay Thai. How are you not gonna go with him, bro? Come on.
Versus the Warrior Pereira.
He moved to Thailand. He got slept in a what was it? He got put in a Muay Thai clinch or a Thai clinch, I guess, by Johnny Walker. Hit with an elbow. He was like, I don't know how to defend against that. He decided to move to Thailand to go learn Muay Thai. That's dedication.
What happened?
Yeah,
What happened to Johnny
yeah,
Walker though?
Yeah, that's wild.
What happened to Johnny
Anytime
Walker,
you
though?
move your whole family to a different country,
I
alright.
bet against Alex.
No, he's nice.
before, and he
There's
a
some
couple
people you don't want
wrongs.
to bet against.
And,
Yeah,
and twice
they
he's
both
proved me
nice. It's gonna be a
wrong.
tough one, but
So
I'm
now
gonna go
I
Pereira.
hate to go against him.
Izzy today said that the whole thing with that black magic he has around him is true. So
Yeah,
I believe it.
exactly.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Exactly.
You just get fucking
That's
beat by
why
the
my
fucking.
pick-
How you gonna be the witch doctor, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I don't
can't.
know, man. I'm hoping that Khalil picked up something over there with the ties. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know.
I hope so. So going a little further, and obviously we'll put out some episodes to go a little deep dive. And I'd love to have you back on these ones as well
Appreciate
because
it, yeah.
we just like I'm telling you, we just go off on these cards. And
Yeah, even if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
the
even to,
tangents
like,
are wild, but we
even
just
if you
go.
don't even have a fight coming up or anything, and you just want to talk MMA
Yeah,
or talk fight.
always.
I've said it from the first episode, and I will reiterate to anybody that's watching this right now. This is an open door. If you want to come in here and talk about fighting at any aspect, you don't have to be a fighter at all to come on here. I just want some people that love to talk about the sport and get more people into it. A big thing for me that I've definitely adopted from 806 The Show, Ariel, obviously Melvin Sanchez. I love that they put on North Shore and they put on the people of Salem and they put on the people from around here. That's another reason why I wanted to have you on here because we got to show you guys. Like we have to have.
bro.
Yeah,
I've
Definitely
seen it.
appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
why you're always the first to come to mind
Yeah.
because you represent like
So much.
Wait,
Yeah,
there
right.
was one question I want to ask because I've seen in one of the fights that you did wear, like it was like the Celtics colors for your pants. Was
yeah,
that purposely or is that you just like the black and green on that?
Irish.
The Irish, there it is. But
Boston
it
Irish
worked.
kind of guy.
Hey, it
Yeah.
worked,
Look
man.
at the
Hell
fit. Look at the
I
gloves.
see the fit. I see
Yeah,
I
right.
see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
I see the
I
Irish
was like,
shirt.
"Where's the merch? What do you mean?"
I should have brought Jameson tonight,
Yeah.
man.
But, like something
Yeah.
that we did the other day.
That's
so
good, though. That's
me,
what's up.
me, Ariel, and Sanchez, we did basically like a intro workout class to just promote
Yep.
Gem Body Alchemist. Shout out to Gem Body Alchemist. And same idea with you guys. Like, we want to be able to like go around and showcase all these like amazing different avenues because like. I don't know, like growing up, and I didn't do a lot of sports when I was like a little kid, but then when I got into high school, it was like football
up.
and baseball and that kind of stuff. But like fighting is an interesting avenue that you can go down. Now, you don't have to go and do a pro career, but it's just an opportunity for people that like, some
There's a
people
lot of
that's
windows within
they don't
fighting.
fit with the norm of I guess what you would consider like those regular sports. They don't
Yeah,
know that you
yeah.
can just get into this, and it doesn't
Yep.
have to be you go in to be the world champion, world beater, but just another avenue for
yeah,
example.
I've never been one to do like individual sports. I was always a team sport person. Like I was always playing like basketball.
interesting
Yeah.
So that I feel like
Fighting
that-
is
that's
still a
whole
team
different-
sport, but
It is.
No, true.
to a level because once you're in the ring, you know, you might feel like it's just you until you go to your ring, you go to your corner. Like as a coach, like how do you feel like how strong or how powerful it is to have like a strong coach in that corner? Because you can be like dazed within certain, rounds.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then
It's
having
everything.
that coach
Yeah.
grounds you to be
That
able to make
chemistry
those
with the
right
coach
decisions.
means
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it is still a team sport.
It is, yeah.
And it's also like another just like a I don't know. I feel like it's just like another avenue for you to kind of like express yourself. Because like at the end of the day, it's an art. It's an art form. The art of boxing, mixed martial arts. It is an art form. Like people don't think
Yeah,
about it. Everybody
yeah.
thinks paintbrush on a canvas, but you've never seen
Blood on the canvas.
No, right? You've never seen blood on the
Nah,
canvas.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Like
That's
even
art.
like
Spinning heel kick. Come
people
on.
think like just the boxing is like not the average the average person thinks like boxing is like going in and throwing punches.
You hate
and,
on
like,
title boxing? Do you hate on them?
Nah, they're doing their thing. Title boxing knows their avenue.
They're like,
They're geared towards like helping people lose weight and just that fitness aspect.
yeah.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going there for a fight camp and fighting, I mean, yeah, it's a shame on the coaches.
That's a little different.
But I do know fighters that do help people there.
Yeah.
Like there's professional fighters that work at Title.
I mean, it would make sense for you to go there to make a good living. You know how to do the sport.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
if you're learning from them, I mean, you are learning something legit.
Right.
But
That's good.
people like going back to the art, like people think you go in, throw punches and stuff, but like until you get in there with the boxer who knows
Yeah.
their shit, I mean,
There's ways of it.
you place your foot in the wrong position, you're done. Like
Oh,
that's it. The punches, the blocking, the moving the head,
Yeah.
everything is
It's like you-
tedious but big.
Like,
It's
levels.
crazy.
footwork of his probably like that's the part if like I would probably fall in love with like the footwork. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's, in
basketball,
basketball,
bro.
the footwork is my favorite
literally
part of
half
it. Like,
a second, bro. If you see someone's foot like this, you already know you have the lane
yeah,
open
yeah,
like
bro,
this.
literally,
Like literally, you have
like
a lane
I'll
open.
focus. I was like, let me get him off balance. Let me attack this foot. Let me jab him.
Same thing with boxing.
That's the
then he
kind of
opens
thing.
up
Once
his-
someone puts like a shoulder down or like something like that,
The movement, yeah, and like you know, I feel like if the average person who thinks they can stand with a boxer who knows their stuff. I mean, gets in there, and I
Nope.
think after 10 seconds they're thinking
Yeah.
like, shit, like I don't even know how he put himself there. Like,
Yeah.
why am I lost like that? Like,
Yeah.
it's so different.
This is the degenerate side of me.
Wait,
One of my favorite things is
Who did Lil Pump go in the ring with? What's this dude's name?
that's what I was gonna say. It was
got
Kobe
choked out?
Covington.
Kobe Covington.
Kobe
Yeah,
Covington.
right.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Lil Pump was like
I
tapping
remember
like 3
that.
times.
So apparently
Yeah.
he signed a contract
he
that
just
was like,
straight fell
even if I
asleep.
tap, still put me to sleep.
No.
So that's what the
He
degenerate
Oh,
was
side.
that's
sleeping
why
for
he
like
went to
30
sleep.
seconds,
I
bro.
know. That's my degenerate side of me, though. That's one of my favorite things to watch is when these random Joe Schmoes that talk so much crap on the internet to these
Get
fighters,
inside
and then they're
it.
like,
Bro.
no, come to the gym.
Yeah.
No. Come to the gym.
Yeah.
We'll settle this. Come in here. We'll do 5-minute round.
Exactly.
Yeah,
One,
yeah, they put a
5-minute
rule
round.
on it.
And
Yeah.
they just
He
dead.
knew. He was like, yo,
Done, bro.
that was definitely like a little gimmick for him.
He
like,
was snoring, bro.
Just to, like, let me get just put to sleep. And
Oh,
then
for
it's gonna
sure.
get mad views.
Snoring.
Yep.
Like, it was, yeah, it was,
For sure. I think it's something that a lot of people should do at least once. I've definitely been in like I feel like my fair share of like scraps in the yards and whatnot. Growing up with the point, you know what I mean. You get into some tussles here and
I've
there.
been in a few gyms. Much respect, man.
I've never been in the gym.
People that keep on going. It's
Yeah.
tough, man.
I
It's
mean,
tough.
I always say not everybody, because it might not be everybody's thing.
but-
Go do your own thing too, but like a sport or whatever you want to do that you love.
Yeah.
But if you ever have a thought of doing it, I think you should do it. Not just
Yeah.
boxing, but whatever it may
Well,
be.
that was something I was gonna say. Like I put up a poll the other day because it was like, listen, at this point, I need to start training in something,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if it's. I don't know about taking a
Boxing's-
fight, but
boxing's
like
also
just
a
to
great
yeah.
workout.
That was
if you're looking for a
Well,
great
that's
workout,
boxing won by a landslide.
feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And you
Exactly.
feel good mentally, physically. You,
I feel like
you
it's a
know,
good
you
start. Like it's a good
learn
like,
something.
she had like boxing. Was it
Boxing,
Muay
Muay
Thai?
Boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, because those are the
Jiu-jitsu
gyms that
stuff,
are
bro.
around here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a few spots around here that
Yeah.
I've looked into, but then once
Yeah.
you put up that you like a while ago when you started going to the gym and you started putting you were here, I was like, that's kind of close by. I feel like that sounds like a good
Right.
opportunity.
Do you think you should start with boxing? If you were like your base should start with boxing. Like, you know how like
it
he's
just
someone-
it just depends what
Depends
you're trying to
what
go
you're
for.
doing.
Yeah.
I will say the argument is there that in MMA, wrestling is the best base to have.
Oh,
as
okay.
boring
You
as
gotta-
it can
yeah,
be,
yeah, yeah.
wrestling cardio-wise, strength-wise, because even just like when you tie up with somebody, they always say it, like some of these Dagestani wrestlers, you just feel the
Drags the
strength.
muscle out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you,
Yeah.
you just tire somebody out too if you're just like
Exactly.
Yeah,
grabbing
literally.
on them.
Yeah,
Bro, I've
yeah.
always had a boxing background. I never did anything professional and nothing like that, but I've always done boxing. I've trained it was probably like a couple weeks, bro. MMA, I couldn't do it after that, bro. Much respect to like those that do
Yeah,
it, the
yeah, yeah.
jiu-jitsu, bro. The rolling wasn't for me, bro. I wasn't able to just stay there, like the clinches,
Yeah, there's a
the
different
like the leg
cardio,
hooks
yeah.
and stuff. Like just bro. Much respect, but it's tough, bro.
Yeah.
Stand
And
up,
it's
I'll
the
do
same.
stand up.
It's
but-
the same if MMA guys go in a boxing ring because nobody thinks like they think the MMA is probably overall more tiring.
Yeah.
But I always thought like boxing wasn't that enduring either, but it is. Like once you go in all those rounds,
Yeah.
like look at Conor when he fought Mayweather, he was breathing out
Exactly.
of his mouth after
Oh,
4
yeah.
rounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mayweather
I
just
just know if
different
I
type
was
of
ever to
setup.
get
No,
it,
it's
He was
like,
tiring
so
him
I'd
out,
be-
bro.
It's just different. Everything.
You're
all,
activating
all those
different
arts are
muscles and
different.
everything.
Everything's
I'd throw
different,
up
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you
First
know?
day, and I'm pretty active.
Yeah.
I know my cardio ain't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But I feel like how you like I feel like I get it a lot from you, the way that you think about like playing all these different sports. I feel like that's why I'm like I need to start training.
You know, I
Like
feel it.
yeah, like I'm telling you, my algorithm, anything I watch is surrounding fighting. Whether it's the official UFC, I'm watching PFL, I'm watching One
Yeah,
Championship,
something's
I'm
there.
watching Street Beefs, I'm watching amateur fights
Just
on some
scrolling,
random
fight
circuit.
after
Yeah.
knockout
I started
after knockout.
CES MMA. I started following them and watching their stuff. It is just the one sport that I found myself. I've always watched like football and baseball, but I've really put all that to the wayside
the
at this
fighting,
point.
yeah.
It is just fully into fighting. So I was like, I got to
Gotta
train
learn
a
it.
little bit. I got to
Yeah.
learn it because I want to also like know what they're going
Understand,
through.
yeah.
One thing I will
Sure.
say, and this is where the bias comes out a little bit when it comes to the whole Khalil Roundtree. One thing that I definitely identify with him a lot, his story. He used to be 300 pounds, smoking and drinking all the time, just really unhealthy, just very. And then, and he got
Same here.
into basically he basically signed up for like a MMA gym, and that's where he found the love for MMA,
Yeah,
and he
he
just went
realized, like,
full
I
focus.
love
And I don't know
this,
if
yeah.
you've seen that man with his shirt off, but Jesus
Transition, yeah.
Christ,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah,
machine.
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
And I
crazy
feel like the
transition.
same idea with me, where like I didn't do that. I didn't get into fighting, but I got my friend Josh. Shout out Josh from Lynn. He put me to start training. He was my trainer. He basically just put me through the ringer of just doing cardio, all types of circuit training, lifting, all kinds of stuff. But the gym we were at, and I think that you actually worked there or trained there for a little bit, was Treehouse of Fitness in Danvers.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was there, and shout out Gabe, who's behind the producer desk right now.
Yeah.
Me and him are over here benching, and we're doing all kinds of things. And I'm hearing guys throwing themselves around, practicing BJJ upstairs. I'm like, I feel like I should be up there with them. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm
that
like,
was my first trainer too.
they went hard.
Yeah,
and
Lewis, he was the guy up there. He was my first trainer.
I feel like
for the
I
ground.
saw them training, and I was like, I feel like that's where I belong.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
get a
yeah.
gi, and I'm gonna get in there,
You'd
guys.
find a
Like,
family there too. Like,
for sure. Well,
like
that's
in,
another thing.
BJJ, it's like so close.
but like you said, you're like it's
so
a team.
tight.
It's a team sport for sure. Even though you are, it's like being on the I did track. It's like being on the track team, but it is an individual sport. But you have a team behind you to get
still
you
gotta run
Yeah,
to that
You're running
point.
with
you
people
know?
around you. You feel me?
That team
Yeah.
matters. That sticks with you forever too. Those
that
people.
Metallica song,
Like
by myself but not alone.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because you always have your
Yeah.
supporters behind you, and like you said, you have you go to the corner, you have your coaches, you have the guys that are with you that are there to support you.
Yeah,
and
you know your team's
put
there
you
with
back
you,
on the
your
right
family,
path.
everybody,
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
you said earlier, sticking to the game plan. They're the ones that keep you focused on
That's
that game
it,
plan.
yeah.
You know, you
Yep.
got to listen to that.
Yep.
All right, before we end this episode, I want just a couple of predictions from you. John Jones versus Stipe. Who you got?
Because I want him to
That's
come back
right.
strong.
That's what I'm talking about.
I miss
Give me some.
Jones.
Give me
in
some.
the
Give me
game,
some.
dude. I really.
Fair
I
do.
don't like Jones. I'll say it right here. Juan don't like Jones. You don't gotta say nothing. We just know.
No, I'll say it. I don't like Jones. I
Why
don't like John Jones. I don't like John Jones. Listen.
That's the goal.
I respect
Nah,
everything
it's okay,
I
it's
respect
okay.
everything that he's done in the game of MMA.
Then how do you not like him if
He's
you
a
respect him?
he's a goat. No, listen. He's a goat. He's a
That's
goat.
what I'm saying.
But he don't want the smoke from Tom Aspinall. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Bro,
he
I
and
hope he
Stipe-
comes back real strong.
I really do, because I would love to see that.
Listen,
I miss
listen,
the last
old
fight
Bones
shocked me to
Jones.
say
I just
One,
know, I just
he-
know Jones ain't afraid of the smoke, but Tom Aspinall definitely wants it. So Jones should just
went up
go
in
out
weight
there and do
and
it.
he fought Cyril Gane, and
it's
we
been
all
a
saw
little
that.
bit.
That was very quick, very smooth. But he
Very
looked a little
shocking,
slow.
I thought.
Now
It was,
he looks
'cause
like
Cyril Gane
he's
was doing his thing
like
before.
went in and he's like fully like I feel like he looks like a natural heavyweight now. John Jones.
Yeah,
as soon as I'm seeing-
right,
like
yeah.
recently, I've been seeing him like post like workouts and stuff like that, and now he's looking like he's
Bro,
like comfortable
he ain't afraid
as
of
a
no Tom
heavyweight.
Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's like, hey, how you doing, Joe? He's like, get that shit off.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
that
not
hand
saying
off.
he's afraid. I'm just saying he doesn't want to take the risk. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, no risk if you ain't afraid.
Ilya Taporia versus Max Holloway. Who you got?
Holloway.
Holloway.
That was a tough
He's
one.
my favorite
That was a
fighter.
tough one.
that's fire.
Yo, I love
He's my
Holloway.
favorite fighter. So
Oh,
I
yeah?
want,
Nice, nice.
I got Max Holloway, even though he did our boy Calvin Cater dirty.
I know. That
Shout out
was-
Calvin Cater, bro. Shout out to the New England
I don't know.
Cartel.
For that one, I'm gonna disagree with you. I have Ilya. I have Ilya Taporia on that one, bro.
I don't know,
It's
man.
a tough one. Like, trust me, I like Holloway as well. but-
Another photo I want right here. Maybe I might even replace the sign with
Those-
it.
those-
It's
those
just
say-
Max like this
those
standing
over
over Justin
Gaethje?
Gaethje.
Don't say that, bro.
That is
That
the
was the
Yeah,
hardest.
that was
We
tough.
watched it
That
right
was
here.
tough.
We have the screen right here.
It
That
was
was
the
and we were sitting
greatest
at the
photo
table.
of all
Yeah.
time.
300 was
Yeah.
legendary.
Pointed right.
You know,
this
it's funny-
guy pointing down at the fucking.
I was
How
thinking.
good is he, man?
Yeah.
Thinking about this was
Savage.
I was
That
listening
was
to
dope.
the
That was
episode
dope.
that you were on beforehand. Like I said, I just want to see like where we were at then to where the landscape of fight has happened now.
Yep.
And one thing that you brought up when we were talking about it, I asked you about like sparring and how important you said it. You're like, I think as you get like later on in the game, you don't really need it as much, but it's still important. Max is like the guy who I brought up as an example, who's like, I don't really spar, but then he had to fight Justin Gaethje. He was
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hard sparring. Like we
Yeah, yeah,
fighting
yeah.
him, I'm sparring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
So I
Yeah,
feel like
he was
that's
saying
a
he
full
It really
fight
could have
right
went
here.
any other way.
No.
It's just whichever one connected. Yeah, it definitely could have, bro. He pointed to the ground. Gaethje was like, all right.
Gaethje was already losing the fight. He had
He
nothing to lose.
was losing the
He had
fight.
nothing to
Yeah.
He
lose.
was
Yeah.
losing the fight, but he could have connected.
You know,
But Holloway got him.
It could have
Holloway got
definitely
him.
happened, but I was thinking the whole time that he's gonna catch him. Like Max Holloway gonna catch him.
Holloway got him.
Oh man.
Dog, I've never
I like
never
Gaethje.
had a
Gaethje's-
to this
Gaethje's
day.
a beast.
I think that is like
But
the moment
Holloway
for
got
me
him.
that is
Holloway,
like peak.
yeah, it's like on
yeah,
that time.
yeah, big time.
That was a good. That was dope.
And then I guess well, there's not really any other big ones to be announced, so I'm gonna ask you the last one. Conor McGregor, 2025. I know we brought it up earlier. When do you think he comes back?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if he
If
does.
he comes back.
I don't know if he does. Yeah.
It's hard waking up in those silk sheets to
Yeah,
get in that
yeah,
ring,
yeah,
dog.
exactly.
Those
Come
silk
Come back.
sheets,
Why?
man.
Come back. Like, did he lose anything? Come back. Why?
He's not even that old if you think about it.
Yeah,
No.
but
Maybe 37, 36.
Yeah.
He's my age.
You got a W,
He's
you
still
got a
got
W.
another like maybe 1-2 fights.
Yeah.
Some of these Brazilians be in the fighting
what
till
about
they're 45.
Jose Aldo came back.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo fully retired. He's like, you know,
Jose
what, let me get
Aldo.
another one
Jose
back.
Aldo needs to
Yeah,
chill
we
out.
talked about that one. Yeah, like I don't. I don't agree.
I
I don't know about that one. if he can like redeem himself and come back, but then again, it's like, bro,
he's one.
he already hit the Hall of Fame,
so
bro. It's like you already.
How do you retire? Get the Hall of Fame,
And like, I'm coming right back.
Yeah.
come right back.
So this is, it has like similar to you. You're just like, it's the love of the game. Like I'm not gonna
Exactly.
lie. Like I was saying a lot of crazy stuff where I was just like, I don't understand why he's coming back. Not that he's like bad or anything like that, but it's just like
hard. It's
you've
hard
already
to leave.
finished.
It's
But
tough.
it's all
It's
you
tough.
know
When
at some point.
Exactly.
the way that he
When
was
you-
speaking when I was watching him at like the media press conferences and like I think it was like yesterday or so, like he was just like, dude, like this is it. This is what I love to do. Like I couldn't even imagine. They even asked him. They were like, if you got to, because I think he fought at I forget what it was, but it was I think it was the WEC or something like that. And they were like, if they brought back that blue canvas, how do you think this fight would play out? He was like, bloodshed. He was like immediate bloodshed. I would see red and it would be over.
Yeah,
like it would just
right.
go, and it's like crazy how quick he
was
just
such a
snaps
beast.
back.
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah, he had a
can't
run.
wait.
yeah.
And
Conor
Even in the
Gradon, but if it
UFC.
wasn't for that,
Here's
he
the
had
thing
a
with him,
crazy
though.
run, bro.
You can still see to this day that Jose Aldo could get the title. He has a
he's
shot.
nice.
He has a shot.
He's nice.
yeah.
But it's tricky, man. I feel like he's got a shot. We'll see how he does. Shout out to Jose Aldo. Like I said, this episode is going to come up after UFC 307, but hopefully he got it done. I don't know. Well, Matt,
I'll put money on him.
thank you for coming on. We're not done yet because we got shout outs.
We got
Yes,
more.
sir.
We got more.
So,
Yeah, nice.
Shout
out A Vibe Entertainment.
Yeah.
Shout out Baldwin. Shout out Gabe for helping us out today behind the producer desk.
Yerp.
Shout out Melvin. I hope you're enjoying your vacation right now, sir.
Yes, sir.
You earned it.
You
Salute.
better enjoy it. Extra
Let's
shout out
see.
me.
You guys got any shout outs before?
Shout out Young Soldier Success Group.
Shout out Nerd Gods.
Yeah.
Shout out Gem Body Alchemist.
Sure. Shout out.
The 306.
What's the 306?
That's in Miami. 308 as well.
That's bad funny.
You're like, wait, it's 806.
I'm dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic.
Shout out P2P. What else?
A lot of shout outs. What you
There's so
got,
many
man?
things
Any
to
shout outs?
Obviously, he's
yeah.
got the shout outs. You got the solo cam for yourself, sir.
Yeah. I just want to shout out first thing my family, my daughter Aubrey, Scarlett, my wife Tita, always supporting me, backing me. So they're the backbone of it all.
yeah.
That's really what I fight for. So shout out to them, my coaches, my team, always behind me. My sponsors, Della Rosa Construction, Elite Gutters, Moby Cuts, Temporized Heating and Cooling. Just the tip, it's a pool Q repair.
Like you had to specify.
Yeah. I had to specify.
Yeah, just to make
Shout
sure.
out to Justin too, because that's a great name. That's a great name.
Good night, Fatty.
Oh, well, first of all, that is the best sponsor of all time.
That's my post dessert.
Yeah,
that
as well
one.
as they should be.
Longboards.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Longboards.
Salem. Yeah, that's
Nice.
my post mail.
Yeah.
after
Gotta keep
the
it
fight.
local, man.
And Nutre Mail. They're the ones who
okay.
send me the mails leading up to my weight cuts.
Most important.
helps,
man,
that
keeping you
helps,
right.
man.
Yeah,
That's
so
what's
all
up.
these sponsors that back me up, always having my back, I really appreciate it. My family first thing, and then just my fans and friends, everybody that backs me up all the time.
Of course.
No
man.
matter what, win or lose, we go in together and we fight hard.
No,
We're
man.
always going to
Appreciate
ride
it.
with you.
Dude,
That's it, bro.
listen, like
I
I said, you
appreciate
got
it.
so much support backing you,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Like so much support. We can't
Yeah,
wait to
yeah.
see it. We're
Facts,
so
bro.
excited
Yeah.
for it.
And
think
I'm always pumped about that. Like I always think about that. It hits me like how many people like back me up and like show up for me.
you got
and,
300,000
like, it's
behind you on the walkout. Just
Plus.
think that. You
Plus,
have an army
bro.
behind you on the
Yeah.
walkout, like
Appreciate
Spartans,
it.
dog.
But I do.
love
I
it.
think of it all the time. I'm like, man, like I'm lucky to have it. So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate everybody.
Good luck in your fight, man.
Yeah,
You know,
facts.
we're all
You got
cheering
this,
you
man.
on. We're
Hell
excited
yeah.
to see you
Thank
go. Everybody, please tune into the Mantis upcoming fight,
Yes, sir.
October 26th,
25th.
October 25th.
October 25th.
Guys, this has been another episode of Uneducated MMA. These are our uneducated takes. We out.
We learning things.
We learning things. Shout out.